CUSA Steel is a family-owned full-line steel service center located in Rome, Georgia. Since 1972, we've been working to make our customers more efficient by providing steel product supply and processing all in one place. We are proud to provide a large range of products, including hot-rolled and cold-finished steel, stainless steel, galvanized steel, aluminum, and alloys. Our capabilities enable us to assemble and process steel orders within days, shortening your lead time. CUSA Steel. Steel for your project.
Shop for your next car, truck, or SUV at Riverside Auto Group. Check out riversideautogroup.com today to browse their selection or visit with them in person at Riverside Chevrolet GMC in Rome, Riverside Toyota in Rome, and the all-new Riverside GMC Cadillac in Cartersville. Locally owned and operated by the Welburn family since 1974. That's Riverside Auto Group. Visit riversideautogroup.com.
At Rome Orthopedic Center, we salute students, freshmen and seniors, athletes and artists, first stringers and choral singers, band majors and game changers. We hope you never need orthopedic care, but if you do, choose the only practice in the Rome area solely dedicated to the orthopedic needs of the students and families in our community. Rome Orthopedic Center. To make an appointment, call 706-292-0040.
The deadline for 2026 to 2027 priority application and financial aid is February 15th. Schedule your private campus tour at www.darlingtonschool.org/visit or by emailing admission@darlingtonschool.org.
Get ready to slam dunk into local high school basketball action with Northwest Georgia Media. From the regular season to the playoffs, we've got you covered. Don't miss a single game. Catch all the excitement live and in high definition. Follow us on X and Facebook. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Northwest Georgia Media, your home for high school hoops. Let the games begin.
It's time for the Coach Groves Show, where we sit down with the head coach of the Darlington Tigers football team and talk about all things Darlington School football. Now we go live to Matt Davis and Ian Griffin, who are standing by with Coach Wayne Groves.
And yes, we are. It is time for the, what week is this? Week 9 edition of the Coach Groves Show, which means that there are 2 games left of the regular season. We got Coach Wayne Groves with us and excited to be her coach. And first of all, we do want to take the opportunity to congratulate you on the win last week, 47-21 over the Model Blue Devils. I bet that felt really good.
Yeah, it was one of those that I felt like we needed. We needed just to, kind of confirm all our hard work and the things that we'd been trying to correct and get fixed. And to be able to have a good showing like that, I thought was, give us a lot of momentum, at this point of the season. So happy that we got the win. But, yeah, it was really good. And now we're back to the next week. So
absolutely back to the grind. But we did want to talk about last week's win a little bit in some detail here in our first segment of the show, Coach. So we'll go ahead and jump into our first question about it. But, of course, last week, you guys traded scores with Model in the first quarter, but then you took the lead seconds into the second quarter, never looked back. You would lead the rest of the night, and really were just clicking on all cylinders, particularly I felt on the offensive side of the ball from start to the finish of the game. Really moved the ball well, won that one 47-21 on the road. So give us a few thoughts, on how your team rose to the occasion of this game and why you felt things went so well in this game.
Well, I thought we went over there and we played with a ton of heart. I thought we played with a ton of passion, a ton of energy. You could tell that our kids wanted to win that football game right from the get-go. And, I thought we played in the best we have in all three phases. Offensively, we ran the ball. We were able to threw the ball when the times dictated to do that. We played good, solid defense, gave up couple more big plays than I would like, but for the most part, we played good, solid, fundamental defense all night. We communicated well. The kicking game was really good. Kickoff team covered really, really well. I thought we did some things on the kickoff return team, and then we did have to punt. We covered the punts really well. So all those things combined, I told the kids I was really proud of them because we felt like we were ready to put it all together, offense, defense, special teams, and play a full game. And so I was proud that the kids came out and did that.
Awesome, man. Fun night. And I know that last week, we'll get to our next question here in just a couple of moments, but you had mentioned something at the end of the show that I did want to acknowledge, but you had mentioned that you'd never been to a game at Woodard Tuggle Stadium.
That's right.
So you had a nice first trip there.
Yeah, it was a good, nice trip. Yep. Better than the opposite, but yeah. That's anytime you can get a win somewhere,
awesome.
It's a good thing.
Well, congratulations.
Well, excellent. The Honeymoon Bakery icing on the cake player of the game last week was Bo Powers. The second time he's won that award this season. Rushed for 151 yards, 2 touchdowns on 8 carries, and caught a 34-yard pass. So what stood out most about his performance last week?
Well, Bodie's been a steady performer for us for 3 years now. But the one thing that stood out to me is I thought that Bodie, leading up to that game in practice, had his best week of practice. He's back playing defense again. He's back practicing defense again. But he had a really good week as far as, just running his option tracks and being detailed on his steps and his footwork and then his blocking, too. So all those things, it's no surprise to me that he had his best games. And it's usually funny how that works out. Kids practice really well and then they turn around and they play really well. So, it just says that, Bodie, he's an extremely hard worker. He's dedicated. He's committed to those little details that we try to always preach, and it makes the difference on Friday nights. And obviously had a great ball game.
And Coach, this is not necessarily an award that we give, but I do want to acknowledge what we consider to be the icing on the cake play of the game. And you probably know where I'm going with this, but there was a trick play towards the end of the game. I think it was y'all's last score, as a matter of fact. And, of course, Konchesky took the ball. He gave it to Bo Powers, if I remember the sequence correctly. And then it went to Jace Donaldson. Donaldson threw a pass to Miles Twyman in the end zone, touchdown. Tell us a little bit about that play, how it developed, and what went through the process of calling that play at that moment.
Well, we've always had reverse, in our package, and the rocket sweep has become, one of our, staple plays, probably one of our better plays that we execute. So about a month ago, I drew it up on the offensive meeting board in there. I drew up the reverse off the rocket sweep, with the fullback leaking out and, have the option to keep the reverse or throw it to the bootleg. So I put that thing up. I said, hey, we ought to put this reverse in. They didn't say, offensive staff didn't say anything. And then last week, they install it. And I said, well, it's about darn time. So we got in that situation where, we did it a kind of a big play right there, a big part of the ball game. And so I said, hey, let's run the reverse. And they said, oh, sure. I said, yeah, let's run it. So run it, executed, touchdown.
Well, it was awesome.
It's got to be a great feeling.
It was tremendous. There's no question about that.
But that's the only offensive play that I've drawn up specifically for them. Let me tell you, our offensive staff, Coach Loudon, Coach Abels, Coach Powers, Coach Privet, and Coach Reddish, those guys do a phenomenal job of game planning, of getting our kids in the best situation to be successful. So they get all the credit for all the other.
But now you can look at them, you're like, 1,000% right here on my play calls.
Yeah, so that was my suggestion about a month ago, and glad it worked out. So they may listen a little more.
That's funny. Well, Coach, we talked about how the last week's game, it was a complete game for you guys from start to finish. When you looked at the team's performance from the start of the game to the end, your team was just unrelenting throughout the entire, course of the game. So I just want to know, what was the message to the team after the game was over and you guys secured the victory and it was time to celebrate that win?
Well, one, I'll tell them, how much I appreciate them, how much I love them. Always going to do that. But I thought they came over there on a mission. I thought they went over there on a mission. I could see it in their eyes early in the week, and I could definitely see it in their eyes in pregame. They were focused and they were ready to go attack that team and win that football game. So I was just proud of them for, we've had, it's been a rough season with injuries and all that. And some teams would just pack it up and say, hey, we'll try again next year. This team just kept on with the course. We kept on watching film, making corrections, keep working the process as far as practice and weights and all that. And then to be able to come over there and play like that, and just confirm that all the hard work was worth it and all the hard work was necessary to get to a point where you can play and execute at that level. So, that was kind of my message to the team. Of course, I can't tell you everything I say to the team. Some things stay in the locker room only, but definitely very proud of those guys and their efforts.
Awesome.
Well, Coach, I didn't get to talk to you last week because I took a little hiatus, but Matt and I both saw it in the Herd game. The effort was there. That Herd team's just really, really good. I mean, we think they could go on to win a state championship, but you've gotten the effort out of your guys. You get the win, a much-needed win, a win where you played to the best of your ability. It's almost like you get to hit the reset button and recharge, and you get your mojo back for these last two games. And there's a lot on the line these next 2 weeks. So what's the tone in the locker room after picking up that victory?
Well, definitely the game gave the kids some more confidence. Definitely going to give us some momentum. But we went right back to work. They're excited about the opportunity to go play a good Temple team and them coming into town, especially for homecoming weekend and alumni weekend and all that. So there's a lot of festivities and stuff going on. So we've been eager to get back out and just get to work on Temple, get a game plan ready and execute that thing Monday through Thursday, tomorrow morning, and then hopefully go really do it on Friday.
Well, folks, this is the Coach Grove Show. I got 2 more games of the regular season. And we are going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk about the Black Shirt Awards. We're also going to have the Get to Know Coach segment of the week and more coming up in this next segment. A little bit later on in the show, in the final segment, we're going to switch gears and talk about the opponent. It's the Temple Tigers. So it's a battle of the Tigers. I guess we got to get a little more specific when we say go Tigers come up this weekend. But anybody that's watching this show knows exactly which Tigers we're talking about. We'll be right back.
Are you shopping for a new car, truck, or SUV? Riverside Auto Group has a location to meet your needs. Browse their selection online at riversideautogroup.com or visit with them in person at Riverside Chevrolet GMC in Rome, Riverside Toyota in Rome, Riverside Nissan in Rome, or Riverside GMC Cadillac in Cartersville. Locally owned and operated by the Welburn family since 1974. That's Riverside Auto Group.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to the Week 9 edition of the Coach Grove Show. It's segment 2, which means we're talking black shirts. Who got the honor this week, Coach?
All right. So on offensive side of the ball, if you noticed, Matt and Coach Powers last week, I'm sure they were calling a bunch of freshman names, and that's bodes well for our future. Yeah, that means, those guys have been forced into some situations. That means some of those have worked really hard to get themselves some playing time on the field. And this one in particular, on offense, one of our B-backs, he started off, he's obviously a freshman, so there's some guys in front of him, then some guys get injured, and so he got his opportunity, and he took advantage of the opportunity. So Jayton Mazo gets the black shirt on offense. I think he had 87 yards rushing. He scored the first touchdown of the game, but just a freshman going in there and contributing right there off the get-go. Really good out of him, so he gets the black shirt. On defense, another freshman, 7 tackles in the game. He had 1 tackle for loss, a sack, 2 forced fumbles, and a fumble recovery. Right there in key situations of the game where we needed stops and needed someone to step up. But J.B. Ragland, number 2 running back and outside linebacker, gets the defensive black shirt this week for his efforts. On special teams, and he's gotten black shirts in other areas on the offensive side, but played a lot of special teams this week and actually made 4 tackles on special teams. Levi Duggan, our one of our quarterbacks that rolls in there and plays quite a bit. He wanted a little bit more role on special teams this week and then stepped in and made 4 tackles. So Levi Duggan gets the special teams black shirt. On simulation offense, we get great looks from everybody, and you don't win games in the state of Georgia. You don't win games on Friday night without having a great simulation look and those guys investing and showing our team what they're going to see on Friday. And so we get great looks out of our offensive line, and this is actually 2 starting offensive linemen that play on simulation look that kill it. So we had a split vote on this, and I said, well, let's just give 2. So Colton Moman, a junior offensive line defensive end, and then Lane Brasington, a sophomore linebacker and offensive lineman. They both get simulation offense black shirts. And then the last on simulation defense, it's one of my boarding kids. He is from New Mexico City, Mexico. And this is his first year playing football, but he's done a great job of playing simulation team linebacker. He's learning to play B-back. But my man Santiago Cruz, who is a sophomore, he is not eligible for varsity competition this year, but he's out there on simulation team, and he's helping us get better every single day, and he is a 100% team player for doing what he does.
Well, congratulations to those guys. Obviously, well earned by all of those young men, and we certainly salute them on their black shirt honors this week. Well, Coach, obviously you talked earlier in our first segment about a lot of festivities and things like that around campus, and then, of course, this weekend, it's Alumni Weekend. But in addition to the game, there's going to be a special event taking place on the field, and I think that the Facebook post said it would be ahead of the game. Is that correct?
That's correct, yes.
But there's going to be Tate Ratledge, and his jersey will be retired in a special ceremony. Not Tate Ratledge being retired, his jersey. I think I said that kind of funny. But of course, Tate's now starting at Detroit Lions on the offensive line. Of course, he played at Georgia. He's got a couple of national championship rings. Had the opportunity to watch him play at Darlington on offense, on the offensive line, also defensive player, as well as the punter. He did a little bit of everything when he was at Darlington. So the question is, what does it mean for the school and the football program to have him, have his jersey retired? I know that they played on Monday, have a bye week this week. I'm assuming that means he's going to be there for this event. What does that mean to the school?
Yeah, well, we're super proud of Tate, and I think you celebrate these opportunities when you can. I think one thing, he's definitely a role model, to all the local kids, the Darlington kids especially, but all the local kids, that shows that if you work hard and if you do the right things, and if God blesses you with a big body frame, because that's part of it too, but then you take advantage of every opportunity you got. He took every advantage at Darlington for his education, to set him up to be able to go to University of Georgia, be successful, and then took advantage of that opportunity and become one of the best offensive linemen in the country. Probably one of the, you would say that's probably one of the best offensive linemen in the world at this point. There's only so many starting offensive line positions in the NFL, and he's one of them. So to be able to celebrate a guy like that, that's been there and done that, and it's from here, man, it's just really cool in all aspects. But he's made it to the top of his career path. He's reached the pinnacle, and I'm sure he's going to continue to get better and work himself into being one of the best players in the NFL.
Have you had the opportunity to meet and speak with Tate? And what a great asset for the guys you have on your team to say, hey, this guy was a Tiger.
Yeah, and he had graduated before I got there, and me and Tate, we don't have necessarily a great relationship. I mean, I know who he is, and we've met before, but me and him are going to definitely have some conversations this weekend while he's in town, and he'll have an opportunity to talk to our team and talk about what, the Darlington Tigers meant to him, about what playing on Friday night, meant to him, and maybe we can get the boys a little boost and a little motivation, because I'm sure he's capable of getting a room fired up, I'm sure.
Excellent. Oh, man, that is good stuff. Well, that's exciting, and of course, you want to make sure that you get to the game. Well, you should get to the game early anyway, and get that atmosphere going early, but make sure you're in your seat and ready to roll early for that ceremony. It's going to be really special.
It's going to be rowdy Friday night.
It really is. Yeah.
Well, that brings us to one of our favorite segments of the show, and that's the Getting to Know Coach question of the week. And we're going to go back to, now you're a tenured coach now, but what was your first job ever?
You mean my first paid job?
Yes, yeah. We all raked leaves and did yard work and stuff like that, I imagine. Yeah, what was the first one where you punched the time clock?
Okay, well, in high school, my first job was actually at the recreation department.
Oh, really?
I started off in high school being a scorekeeper for basketball, refereeing and umpiring, baseball. And so that was my first real job besides working down at Dad's shop and cutting grass all the time, and not getting paid for it. But I figured, I love athletics. And so I, want to do something, be involved in that. And so, I got involved in scorekeeping. Now, my first real job, coaching job was at Upson Lee High School. So I graduated at West Georgia in 2004 and went immediately right to work. Took a job in Thomaston, Georgia. That's not Thompson, Georgia. That's Thomaston, Georgia. So that's Middle Georgia at its finest. If you drew a line between Macon and Columbus, Thomaston's right in the middle. It's where the Georgia High School Association is located. But it's just a little small southern town that loves football and that kids are still passionate about growing up, being Upson Lee Knights and playing. So that was my first job. Mike Majors hired me right out of college as a 9th grade football coach. I coached the linebackers and I coached the running backs. And so I started already started learning, football because I did some community coaching at Carrollton and Central Carrollton while I was in college, and they didn't have jobs for me, but they introduced me to Coach Majors at Upson Lee through, coaching buddies and coaching contacts. So I started learning the split back veer offense. So that's where my knowledge of triple option football really started. So I didn't get any of that until I got to Upson Lee. And then I started learning 4-3 defense. In Middle Georgia, they call the 4-3 defense the Jap defense. And so the Jap defense was invented by, and people in Middle Georgia will say, a mix between Tommy Purdue, who was the longtime coach at R.E. Lee and Upson Lee, and then Robert Davis at Warner Robins is who came up with the Jap defense. And so you got a lot of guys that, like Mike Swaney and Eddie Payne, who was a mentor to me and teaching me 4-3 defense. And so I'm sure there's some schools down in Middle Georgia that are still running the Jap defense. But I was really blessed with that opportunity. I took a group of about 45 kids, and we had a really good first year, took those kids undefeated. And so it was a good start to my coaching career. And then the next year I was moved up to varsity because the Coach Majors thought I did a really good job. And so that's what I've tried to do every year since, just try to keep on moving up, keep trying to add value to the program, and keep trying to learn in football. So.
Heck yeah. What about you, Matt?
Oh man. Well, my first
I know there was a Burger King stint somewhere
yeah,
in there.
there was. Yep. Probably my first paying job. They used to pay me to cut the grass out here at the radio station, and there's 13 acres out here. We had a little lawnmower, riding lawnmower, and I'd get out there and bounce around in the field for a few hours and get that job done. And then running the board here at the radio station, because back when I started in radio as a 15-year-old. We automation was starting to be a thing, but it wasn't quite, where it is now at that point in time. So we had to do what was called live assist and play breaks during Braves games. And then obviously for high school sports and stuff like that. So I came out here for that. But yes, I did do a stint in fast food, and it was fairly short because it was a tough situation. I'm not gonna lie. But I cooked the burgers for a while. Probably the toughest part of the job, you'll really appreciate this, Ian, as a fellow member and president of the Hams Club, Humans Against Mayonnaise. You would be surprised at this particular fast food joint that you reference how much mayonnaise they use, and I would clean out the mayonnaise containers.
That might be where it came from.
That was pretty brutal. Yeah. And they put me on the register once. They did not make that mistake again. I will add that. But I did the fast food thing for a little while.
Well, I hustled. I was always a salesman, so I was the neighborhood lawnmower and leaf raker for sure. So did a lot of that, but I also worked at the YMCA. I was a bike rider a walk away from the Y, so I helped run basketball camps and refereed and did a lot of that stuff as well. So those were my first jobs. Then I had restaurant work, and I think everybody should have to do a little restaurant work in their life because it makes you appreciate how hard everybody in the food and beverage industry works.
I've got tremendous respect for people that work in that industry because it was intense and it was definitely stressful. There's no doubt about it. Especially
how much did you make at fast food at that point?
$4.75. I worked at Margaretta Hall, and I got paid $4.75 an hour. Yeah,
how about that?
Yeah.
I think what did me in was when they put
I thought I was big time.
when they put me on Saturday morning breakfast shift to, make the folded eggs, and yet getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning on Saturdays when you're in high school, that's not really what you want to do. But I don't know, you probably wanted to do that, didn't you? You're pretty disciplined like that.
I'm a pretty good morning person now, but in high school I was not a good morning person. But I will tell you, my first paycheck that I got from Upson Lee, and teachers get paid once a month, and I still remember it. I brought home $1,600.
Big time.
So basically $400 a week.
Yeah.
We're working 80 hours a week, but you couldn't tell. I thought I was the richest dude in Thomaston.
Yeah.
It's the first time I'd ever had $1,000 in my bank account. And, I said, I can't believe that they're paying me to do this. They're paying me to coach football and run strength conditioning classes and run the weight room. And I thought,
Well, Grayson will reach this age eventually, not trying to make her grow up too fast, but with my children, it's been, this is the one time in your life when you're old enough to work that you can go spend your paycheck on whatever you want to. The rest of your life, you're going to have bills to pay. So enjoy it. Go work while you can and spend it on it was basketball and baseball cards for me. That's where I wasted most of my money when I was mowing lawns. But
I understand.
Yeah. One more aside to this segment of the show. And I think I know the answer. Blue Jays or Dodgers? Who are you pulling for?
Do you have to pull for one?
I have a hard time with this one, too.
I'm not pulling for the Dodgers. Blue Jays all the way.
All right.
I'll go with the Dodgers. Reluctantly, I was rooting for the Mariners, but obviously that's not a choice.
I can't get over the fact. I mean, the Braves used to be in the West, and the Dodgers were a thorn on our side. So my love for the Braves, I can't root for the Dodgers. That's what does it.
I understand.
Me too.
Well, that puts a wrap on our second segment. We are going to shift gears when we come back. We're going to be talking about the Temple Tigers, the opponent coming up here for Game 9 of the regular season. And it's a home game at Chris Hunter Stadium. Super exciting. Get to finish off the last 2 weeks of the regular season at the friendly confines, of, as they say, of Chris Hunter Stadium. We'll be back to talk about it after these messages.
Are you shopping for a new car, truck, or SUV? Riverside Auto Group has a location to meet your needs. Browse their selection online at riversideautogroup.com or visit with them in person at Riverside Chevrolet GMC in Rome, Riverside Toyota in Rome, Riverside Nissan in Rome, or Riverside GMC Cadillac in Cartersville. Locally owned and operated by the Welburn family since 1974. That's Riverside Auto Group.
All right, folks, we welcome you back to this edition of the Coach Grove Show. As we go into our final segment, Coach, we're going to talk about your opponent for this week. And, of course, you're hosting the Temple Tigers. And this is only the fourth meeting in the series, but you guys played at their place last season. And as you watch the film and prepare for this team, what are the things that stand out about the 2025 version of the Temple Tigers, Coach?
Well, historically, coaches in the state will tell you that Temple's always had some good-looking athletes. They're always going to have some big linemen. They always have some good skill kids, and this team is no different from that. On defense, they're going to play a 4-2-5 defense. You might mainly going to see cover 3 and some cover 2. On offense, they're very multiple. In the fact that in their first 4 or 5 games, they're about 75% wing T offense and about 25% I formation and some shotgun spread concepts. In the last 3 games, that thing is totally flipped. So now they're about 75% I formation, spread concepts with about 25% wing T mixed in. So preparing for them, you got to be prepared for both because you don't know what offense that you're necessarily going to get. So that'll be interesting to see how that unfolds and what we get. And then they do a good job of doing some heavy 2 tight ends and unbalanced formations that you have to have a plan for. So we've worked all that kind of thing, but it'll be a challenge. They're a good football team, but if we can play what we're capable of playing, we can keep it tight, keep it close in the fourth quarter, and anything can happen.
Excellent, Coach. Well, when you're looking at that tape and the approach the Tigers take, the Temple Tigers, that is, I've got to be on top of that this week.
Battle of Tigers.
Who are the key players that you see? Who stands out on film?
They got a couple of running backs that rotate in there, but I like the number 0 running back linebacker, Nehemiah Dorsey. He's 5'8", 165-pound junior. He plays really tough. You can tell he's really a strong, powerful kid. I like the coach's son, the fullback linebacker, number 15, Hudson Nix. He was all-region player last year. You guys might remember him. He's 6'1", 200 pounds. He's a junior. They got a cornerback, number 6. He's a good DB, TJ Armstrong. He's 5'10", 150. He's a junior. They've got a safety and wide receiver that's really good, playmaker they try to get the ball to, number 8, Jaden McDaniel. He's 6 foot, 175. And then some of those big linemen that we talked about, number 53, he's a D lineman. Marco Chandler, he's a sophomore. Number 51, Junior Presley, he's 6 foot, 280-pound junior. And then Ryan Self, he's an O lineman, D lineman. He is 6'4", 290-pound senior.
Well, Coach, in our first segment, we broke down last week's win at Model and talked about how that was y'all's most complete game so far this year, just clicking on all cylinders. And just definitely a boost of confidence going into this matchup. You get those last 2 games at home. So what have been the key things that you guys have emphasized in practice in terms of continuing to get better and to finish off the season strong and position yourselves the best that you can as far as the playoffs are concerned once you get to that third part of the season? What are the emphasis points right now?
We're going to continue to work our process. We're trying to get 1% better each day and trying to master the little nuances and details of our position. So things like eye discipline with linebackers and DBs. We're going to work tackling and pursuit drills every single day. Working with pad level on our D line and O line, first steps and hand placements. Working on our double teams, veer, scoop and cut off blocks, quarterback footwork and fundamentals has been an emphasis. Backs and wide receivers, our blocking and our footwork there, all those little things that you just can't get enough of. We're keeping working those things. We're not adding a lot. They're always got a couple of little wrinkles here and there, but we're just getting better at executing our stuff on both sides of the ball.
Excellent, Coach. Well, what are the keys to success? I think we know what you're going to give us. I think the keys to success remain the same, but tell us, how do the Tigers turn that one-game win into a 2-game win streak?
Well, this week, when you play, them being very multiple, when you play a wing tee offense, you have to be extremely great with your eyes, and that's specifically talking to the linebackers and DBs. If you start looking back at quarterbacks and all the motions and all the fakes and all that, they will absolutely kill you. So that's been the point with those guys, is we have to lock in on exactly what our keys are, and you've got to have great eye discipline so we don't give up big plays and they don't get you on counters and stuff like that. Communication on both sides of the ball is going to be key. Identifying formations for the defense, identifying defensive fronts and coverages for the offense. Those things are going to be critical to making sure we're lined up correctly and that we can execute and execute at a high level again. And then we're going to make sure we take care of the football. We got to win the turnover battle. It's the number one determining factor in wins and losses in all of football. So you can't give it away, and you got to take it a few times when you get opportunities. So those things, eye discipline, great communication, and then you got to take care of the football.
Well, Coach, it's been a while since the Tigers have been at home. You got a Tiger legend coming in for a visit. It's going to be rowdy. What's the uni combo for homecoming?
All right, homecoming uniform combination and the Tate Ratledge jersey retirement. We're going to go purple jersey. We're going to go white pants. And we're going to hope that's going to be a winning combination for the Tigers.
Awesome, man.
Well, classic homecoming combo.
Led to glory in Athens and now to the bright lights of the NFL. Tonight, we proudly retire the jersey of Tate Ratledge, class of 2020. Tate is joined on the field by his proud parents, Dean and Mary Stewart Ratledge, his sister Emmeline, and his fiancée, Annabelle Braden. Presenting this honor tonight is Coach Kevin Hunt, current head track coach, assistant athletic director, and former Tiger football coach. He'll be standing in for longtime head coach Tommy Atha, who could not be here this evening. But Tommy Atha has a very special message.
Hey, buddy. Just wanted to reach out and tell you congratulations on the retirement of your jersey. Certainly well deserved. Can't imagine anybody else more deserving. Just wanted to tell you what an unbelievable pleasure it has been to know you from the time you were a young kid, to watch you grow, to have the great pleasure to coach you, not only in high school, but, you know, I think back to middle school, travel basketball, for goodness sakes, all the way up through high school. And then just to have the opportunity to go through the recruiting journey with you and follow you and come see you play so many times when you were in college. And now here I am watching you on Monday Night Football. I mean, you know, for an old coach like me, that's just you know, it makes my heart swell up with pride. I love you so much. People ask me all the time, what was it like to coach Tate Ratledge? And I always say the best thing about coaching Tate Ratledge was his ability and willingness to be coached. He was you were unbelievably coachable, always did what you were asked to do. Another thing I tell people all the time is about how you coached up your teammates, about how you helped the other offensive linemen every time you stepped out in practice and in games. And, you know, I mean, obviously, you know, it goes without saying, I love your family dearly. They're like family to me. And just the times that we've spent, and certainly look forward to, you know, maintaining that relationship. And, you know, the next bucket, well, I actually have already had the pleasure to get up and see you play in a preseason game in Atlanta, but Detroit's certainly a bucket list for me. But man, I just wanted to tell you how much I love you, how proud I am of you, and just so honored to be able to say that I was your football coach in high school. Love you, buddy. God bless. Take care. See you soon.
Tate's Darlington School career was a huge force. He was selected to represent the East in the 2020 All-American Bowl. He was Sports Illustrated's All-American First Team Offensive Lineman in 2019. He was USA Today Preseason All-American First Team in 2019. Atlanta Journal-Constitution All-State First Team Offense in 2018 and 2019, and it was unanimous in 2019. He was a part of the Georgia Sports Writers Association All-State First Team in 2019, Georgia Athletic Coaches All-State First Team in 2018 and 2019, USA Today All-USA Georgia Team, 2018 Second Team, 2019 Preseason First Team, USA Today Chosen 25, number 22 overall in 2019. The Atlanta Touchdown Club National Lineman of the Year, the multi-sport athlete that he was. He participated in football, basketball, and track and field. And he still holds the Darlington School record in the shot put with a distance of 55 feet and 6 3/4 inches. At the University of Georgia, Tate carried the same toughness and leadership into Athens, where he became one of the nation's most respected offensive linemen. He's a member of 2 national championship football teams in 2021-2022. He was on the 2024 AFCA All-America First Team, the 2024 AP All-America Third Team.
Yes, sir, and we're going to go ahead and turn on the crowd mic right now and go to the field because there's a special presentation taking place right now, and it's the retirement of Tate Ratledge's jersey here at Darlington. So let's see if we can pick up the end of this, and then we'll get into our commentary about tonight's game. Big night here on campus of Darlington School. So let's turn it over to the PA announcer, Randy Smith.
Vote from all of his teammates. Georgia head coach Kirby Smart said this about Tate, his leadership and selection as team captain. He said, and I quote, "They picked these guys out of about a 95% rate. What they did with this team in the toughest year of my tenure, they dominated the room. They led through hard times and situations. The Lions are so lucky to have him. Tate brought energy, life, and leadership into our program, and he's got a bright future ahead." His professional career: in April 2025, Tate Ratledge was selected second round, 57th overall of the NFL draft by the Detroit Lions. Since arriving in Detroit, he has anchored the offensive line and has been praised by his coaches and analysts as the Steel of the Year. His trademark physicality, leadership, and relentless effort continue to represent the same values he showed right here at Darlington School. In closing, Tate, your journey from Darlington to Athens to the NFL reflects not only the athletic greatness, but humility, perseverance, and leadership. Your number will forever hang as a symbol of excellence for every young Tiger who dreams of following in your footsteps. Please join me in congratulating and honoring Tate Ratledge, class of 2020, as his jersey is officially retired.
All right, folks, what a presentation that was. And, of course, if you're listening on the radio end, you didn't catch everything. Former defensive coordinator of the Tigers out there, Coach Hunt, and of course you got Brent Bell, head of school. Just a touching ceremony. Of course, one of the most emotional parts I would imagine for Tate was hearing his head coach, Tommy Atha. They had a clip of him up on the Jumbotron and played that for him, and it was really touching, the things that Coach Atha said about how special his time was coaching Tate and what a coachable kid he is and all those sorts of things. And we're just paraphrasing a little bit about the things that he said, but that had to be a really emotional moment, I would imagine, for Tate and his family.
Yeah, absolutely. Standing out there on the purple paw, reliving all those memories and hearing the voice of your high school coach, who's such an influential mentor at that time in your life, obviously. But Tate has just gone on from his time at Darlington to do amazing things in Athens, and now you're watching him just play lights out for a Super Bowl contender, too, the Detroit Lions. So he is the right guard, he is the man, and it is his night here at Chris Hunter Stadium.
There is no question about that, and, of course, he's one of those guys that when he walks into a crowd, he certainly sticks out. There's no question about that. He's certainly a big guy, but he's got a huge heart. He's a really nice fellow. I've never had the opportunity to here to interview Coach Atha on game weeks and stuff like that, and he was always super friendly and polite and those sorts of things. So we may get a chance to sit down and talk with him in a little bit. I'm not sure if we'll be able to work that out or not. He may, want to spend most of his time tonight talking to the fans and spending time with his family and that sort of thing, and we certainly respect that if that turns out to be the case. But we'll see what happens. But we're glad you're with us because we're glad to be here. It's Darlington Tigers football night here on WLAQ and also the live stream, and your Darlington Tigers are taking on the Temple Tigers coming up in about 6 minutes. So what we're going to do, we're going to send it back to the studio. We're going to come back and we'll jump into some conversation about the coaching matchup, some key players. We'll have your keys to the game. We'll have the coin toss. We'll get things going. We're at Chris Hunter Stadium tonight. Feels good to be here. Last 2 weeks of the regular season are going to be at home. Home sweet home. We'll be back in 2 minutes.
CUSA Steel is a family-owned full-line steel service center located in Rome, Georgia. Since 1972, we've been working to make our customers more efficient by providing steel product supply and processing all in one place. We are proud to provide a large range of products, including hot-rolled and cold-finished steel, stainless steel, galvanized steel, aluminum, and alloys. Our capabilities enable us to assemble and process steel orders within days, shortening your lead time. CUSA Steel. Steel for your project.
At Rome Orthopedic Center, we salute students, freshmen and seniors, athletes and artists, first stringers and choral singers, band majors and game changers. We hope you never need orthopedic care, but if you do, choose the only practice in the Rome area solely dedicated to the orthopedic needs of the students and families in our community. Rome Orthopedic Center. To make an appointment, call 706-292-0040.
Shop for your next car, truck, or SUV at Riverside Auto Group. Check out riversideautogroup.com today to browse their selection or visit with them in person at Riverside Chevrolet GMC in Rome, Riverside Toyota in Rome, and the all-new Riverside GMC Cadillac in Cartersville. Locally owned and operated by the Welburn family since 1974. That's Riverside Auto Group. Visit riversideautogroup.com.
Well, Ian, we got the captains making their way to the field right now. I figured we'd go ahead and see if we can get in as much as we can of our normal stuff, but obviously it's a little bit different night here tonight. It's alumni weekend, and of course the retirement ceremony of Tate Ratledge's jersey definitely taking center stage there, as it should. Super exciting, but we'll go ahead and jump into the coaching matchup here for tonight. We'll start with Coach Wayne Groves, head coach of the Darlington Tigers.
Yes, Wayne Groves is in his third season as the head coach of the Tigers. His record so far 14-16 with 2 playoff appearances as head coach. He is the former defensive coordinator for John Reed at Rome High School. 3 times during his tenure there, Groves led the #1 defense in the state. Prior to his work there, he was the defensive coordinator at Valdosta High, where his 2014 defensive unit was ranked #1 in their classification in points allowed.
Well, here are the captains for tonight. We'll give you that, then we'll switch over and talk about Coach Nix here for Temple. You've got Jace Donaldson, Bryson Jones, and Miles Twyman for Darlington. And Ian, you're going to have to help me on these numbers. I cannot read those numbers. We're going to have trouble with that tonight, no question.
I'll do my best. Nehemiah Dorsey, 0 is 1. I believe it's either 8. Jaden McDaniel, 7. Jackson Gribben. I'm trying to get the other one on the end, but the referee is shielding my line of sight.
Hold that thought in terms of the key players here and whatnot, and we were still going to get to Coach Nix in a moment. We're a little abbreviated here. We got the national anthem, so we'll turn our attention to that right now.
Father God, we come before you tonight, grateful for the opportunity to compete. We ask that you keep both teams safe from injury. Be with the coaches, the spectators, the officials, and the players. May all display great character and sportsmanship. Bless this game, and may we give you all the glory. We ask all this in Jesus' name. Amen.
And our national anthem will be brought to us by the Darlington Stadium Band under the able direction of Damon Harvey.
All right, folks, there's your national anthem, and we'll tell you a little bit about Coach Nix. Right now, the Darlington Tigers are about to make their way on the field, so we'll get ready for their entrance. But Coach Nix has been coaching in one role and another for over 2 decades. He was the head coach at Gordon Central for 2017 and 18. He had the Warriors on an upward trajectory, and his team's developed a reputation for being a tough, hard-nosed, tough team to play each and every week, very physical. Before taking the helm for Temple, he served as a defensive coordinator for Central High School, where they made the playoffs in back-to-back seasons. He attended and played football at University of Alabama at Birmingham, graduated in 2004 with a bachelor's degree in history, and he's a heck of a football coach. There's no question about that.
He's taken Temple from a program that people might have looked at as a win on the schedule to one that you better worry about.
Oh, there's no question about that. Now, I'll tell you what we're going to do. We'll talk about key players as we go along throughout the broadcast, but we're almost at kickoff right now, and we'll go ahead and let you know the keys to the game. We'll skip ahead to that in terms of our pregame show. And, Ian, we're going to talk with something that Coach Groves talked a good bit about in the pregame show and the Coach Groves show, and that's eye discipline.
That's right. Temple has been running a wing tee the last 4 weeks, but they were running a spread before that, so they've got to prepare for both. And he's worked all week with the players, him and his coaching staff, about ignoring the pre-snap movement and sticking to their assignments.
Also, communication has been high on the list in recent weeks, and obviously that's the case each and every week in terms of a football team. You got to be able to get out there and communicate with one another.
And when we talk about that movement, that's going to rely on that Mike linebacker to step up and get guys in the right place on defense, so communication will be key.
And, Ian, one of the things that went well for Darlington last week at Model, among a lot of things, was ball security. They were able to hang on to the football. They won the turnover battle, and Coach talks about that every week.
Well, there's no need to overcomplicate this analysis. You turn the ball over, it's going to be hard to win. So that's absolutely a key every week, and it's something they work on in practice constantly.
Well, folks, your Darlington Tigers now officially make their grand entrance onto the field, and we are just about ready to rock and roll on a special night for high school football here from Darlington School. It's Darlington Tigers time, and I'm Matt Davis alongside Ian Griffin, ready to bring you the play-by-play call of tonight's action. And I got to tell you, Ian, there's nowhere else I'd rather be than right here, right now. This is a special scene for a high school football game tonight. It's a little extra tonight.
Oh, yeah. Pulling down, passing the stadium. The parking lot was jam-packed an hour and a half before game time. Not that we haven't seen great crowds all season, but there's a lot of alumni in town, and then there's a lot of Tate Ratledge fans that are probably just out here to celebrate that guy. So it's going to be an extra special night at Chris Hunter, and it's even better because the Darlington Tigers are coming into this game off a win, a much-needed win, so there's some energy, and there is an opportunity here for them to string 2 wins together and secure their spot in the playoffs.
Now, giving you the records for each team, right now the Darlington Tigers are 3-5, picked up their first region win last week, as Ian referenced, so 1-3 there. The Temple Tigers, they started off hot this year, went 4-0 to start the season, but they have lost 4 straight, trying to get off the schneid, as they say, and have not won a region game yet. So they would love to be in here tonight against the Darlington Tigers and spoil all the fun for all the home fans, for sure.
Oh, their intent is to come in and win, so the Darlington Tigers are going to have to be ready for their best shot.
And the Darlington Tigers going to have the opportunity to set the tone in this ball game with their offense. They received the opening kick. Toe meets leather. We are underway, and the opening kickoff goes out of bounds.
Yeah, senior Miles Twyman tracked that one well, saw that it had enough momentum to get it out of bounds, and instead of scooping that up and putting himself in a precarious situation, he let it roll out of bounds, and that'll be great starting field position for the Tigers on this first drive. Temple did win that toss and defer. So the Tigers will bring their offense out on the field and try to set the tone on that side of the ball.
So the Tigers get ready to come back to the line of scrimmage off of their best offensive performance of the year last week. They ended up picking up almost 500 yards in the football game, scored 47 points to Model's 21, and they look good from start to finish of that football game. So let's see if they can carry some of that momentum right into the beginning of this game. And like you said, Ian, when we were watching them warm up today, they're always enthusiastic in the warm-ups, but they look like they had a little bit of renewed energy in their warm-ups tonight, it appeared to me.
Well, yeah, I mean, you come off that win, you get the win on the road over a cross-county rival, and it almost wipes the slate clean. There had been a tough stretch of games there in region play, so definitely a little extra energy, and all the special events were.
First formation out of that flex bone as they get ready up the middle, and they get about 4 or 5. So a good play to start things out here for the Darlington Tigers. And with the carry was Jayton Mazo, who really made a name for himself last week.
He certainly did. 87 yards last week, and he scored the first touchdown of the game. One of our key players to watch. That was going to be part of that segment we did not get to. So Mazo starts off. If you can establish that dive, 5 yards, you'll take it all night long.
So Mazo picks up 5 yards. That puts Darlington at the 40-yard line with a 2nd down and 5 coming up. They roll back to the line of scrimmage. Looks similar to the formation before. Going to have everybody in tight at the line of scrimmage here for 2nd and 5. At quarterback is Nate Konchesky, and there's the snap. He turns, hands it off. They go back to the B-back, and this time there's not much there.
I think that might have been a little trap. That was Bo Powers. Yeah, Bo Powers got the carry there. They faked. It was a good pull, so I followed the B-back as well. But looks like they lost about a yard. He was able to fall forward, almost get back to the line of scrimmage. So it's going to be 3rd and a long 5.
So they'll shift a little personnel off for this play. It's going to be Mitchell Rotten. On is going to be Trey Moore. He's going to be lined up in a wide receiver spot here on the near side here for 3rd down and 5 with the ball just shy of the 40-yard line. So back at the 39.
They're giving Moore a lot of space. Wouldn't be surprised.
Shakes off a defender and gets it out to the 50-yard line, 1st down.
That is a bread-and-butter play and one that Konchesky and Levi Duggan have executed well with Moore, but we do have a penalty, and there was some pre-snap movement there. I think 2 players moved at once. I saw it, but then I looked downfield and didn't see them drop the flag, so that 1st down will be coming back, and they're going to be in 3rd and long.
So scratch that. Good-looking play, though.
Yeah, just it was a legal shift. You had one guy moving and that was legal, and the other guy just moved a tad bit early, and that draws the flag, the first of the night, against Darlington.
So that's going to back them up to the 35, setting up a 3rd down and 10 for the Tigers. So let's see if they can overcome the penalty here in the series. So the Tigers at the line of scrimmage, everybody in tight for this play. Konchesky takes the snap, rolls back, looking to throw, throws it, kind of sidearm, connects with Rotten. He is up across center, and he is down at about the 30-yard line, just inside the 30-yard line as he crossed center field. But he was streaking down the field. Wow.
That's a freshman, rumbling, bumbling, stumbling. It's Mitchell Rotten on the crossing pattern. Konchesky sat back, let the pressure come to him, hit Rotten on the run. In stride, Rotten stiff arms the defender and just rumbles down the sideline. That is a big boy getting big yards and explosive for the Tigers on a huge 1st down.
Under center goes Konchesky here for 1st and 10, which is now at the 25-yard line in Temple territory, and they go back up the middle there and get it down to about the 20-yard line. So another good carry there for the Tigers and Mazo.
Just the dive play there to Mazo. And he's got a lot of open space in front of him. And he's dragging Temple defenders, picking up 5 yards, and setting the tone for this option offense to shine.
Going to be a wide receiver on the far side this time. That's Ethan Height. In the slot is going to be Trey Moore, so you got to watch both those guys. This brings up 2nd and 5 from the 20. There's the snap, going to hand it off, go back up the middle, and this time the defense was ready for it. They didn't fall for any of the eye candy that felt like was going on there.
They did not. And out there in the slot, Trey Moore was getting press coverage too, so that's something to watch later if they go play action. That could be wide open if they continue to do that. It's a chess match. Each play setting up what you can do later in the game. And we heard from Wayne Groves about how much he trusts his offensive staff and their ability to game plan.
Oh, no question about that. The Tigers roll back to the line of scrimmage here. This is going to be 3rd down and 5. Ball at the 20-yard line. Quarterback's going to be under center. Everybody's in tight at the line of scrimmage. Man motions to the left. They're going to hand it off, go to the trap play. Bo Powers is going to be down at about the, I want to say, 15-yard line, I suppose.
Yeah, nice pick up there on the trap. Get the defense going one way. Powers sweeps under on the trap. He got about 10 yards on that carry.
Down at the 12.
Yeah, so they will be able to pick up another 1st down inside the 2-yard line, so it'll be 1st and 10 from the 12. As this Tigers offense is clicking on all cylinders right now, can they finish it off with a touchdown?
So the Tigers going to be under center here. Konchesky Nate Konchesky ready to take the snap. He's got the ball, turns, hands it off, goes to Mazo. He dives forward and gets inside the 10.
And this is a dangerous spot. This is that chop block territory. Could be defensive holding as well, but we've seen this called on Darlington a lot more last year than this year, but it has popped up a few times. Personal foul, and that's what it is.
And we saw one of those last week at Model as well.
So that's a big one. That will back them up 15 yards. And that puts them all the way back, I think, at the 27-yard line.
Well, we saw Darlington overcome a penalty earlier in the drive. Can they do it again? We'll see.
Well, get some of these athletic receivers out there in space. Konchesky's been throwing the rock really well. But you just want to chip away. You don't have to get it all back on the first play. You just want to get a chunk of it back on first down. Put yourself in a possession to be successful on third.
So 1st and 25. Ball is at the 26 now for the Tigers. Going to have Trey Moore split wide to the near side, working right to left. Konchesky under center. He will take the snap, drops back, looking Trey's way, connects with his receiver, shakes off a tackle. He's inside the 10. They bring him down at the 5. What a play.
Konchesky is 2 for 2, and really 3 for 3. He hit the one that got called back for holding, so he's coming out sharp, throwing the ball, and he finds his favorite target, Trey Moore, out there in the 20, and Moore never goes down at first contact. That time he almost took it to the house, breaking that initial tackle. And Darlington's right back in business on 2nd down.
And they've got the ball. Now 2nd down, ball is going to be at the 6-yard line. And they will roll back to the line of scrimmage, going to send Moore split to the near side. And Konchesky under center, ready to take the snap here from the 6. He's got the ball, turns, gives it to Mazo, and Mazo dives forward, gets what he can there. He's going to be inside the 5. Got a couple of yards there.
Yeah, Evan Parton coming up a little bit gimpy there. Got his, it looks like an ankle injury. He's down. They're probably going to have to blow the whistle and tend to him on the field.
Well, we're glad you're with us tonight here on WLAQ and also the live stream. We got a train going through. Is that the
That's
first
number
one?
one.
Of the evening?
That is train number 1.
It's Alumni Weekend here on the campus of Darlington School. If you're just tuning in, we hate that you missed the opening ceremony for the game because they had a special ceremony retiring the jersey of Tate Ratledge. And, of course, anybody that's here that were coming to the games during the period of time that he played here has special memories of watching that young man as an offensive line player. Everything and did a great job at all of it.
I was about to say kudos to Nathan Patterson for his Tate Ratledge highlight reel that he put on to accompany that when we went live. We got to see Tate punt the ball, which is just a sight to see a human that large back there kicking. But he was also a heck of a defensive lineman and offensive lineman, as you mentioned, just wreaking havoc at the line of scrimmage for the Tigers.
Starting in his rookie season as a Detroit Lion. Of course, he was drafted in the 2nd round of the NFL draft and just doing a fine job. And obviously you heard Coach Atha there in the pregame ceremony talking about how coachable he was. You've heard Kirby Smart say that. And then also he's getting really high marks already with the Detroit Lions. So you're watching, folks, the start of a long and really, really good NFL career.
Right, absolutely. And it's just crazy that he's playing alongside Dalton product Jahmyr Gibbs as well.
Oh, absolutely. More on that in just a little bit. But Konchesky ready to take the snap from the 3, and he hands it off, and they are in. The Darlington Tigers score the clock. It was Jayton Mazo, the same young man who picked up the first score for Darlington last week, the freshman.
Well, I tell you what, these young Tigers have gotten a lot of experience thanks to injuries. I mean, they've had to step into action, and they've gotten a lot of experiences throughout this season, and now you're seeing Mazo step in, and he had a great game last week. He's off to a great start this week. That's 2 weeks in a row he's scored Darlington's first touchdown.
Ian, we got a different kicker into the game tonight. Here comes the kick, and that one is going to be through. And according to our roster, that was number 21. I don't know if that's correct. It says Georgie Lovelace. We'll have to double check and make sure that that's who's wearing that number. But definitely a different number there kicking tonight. So we'll see if we can double check on that one. That was a little wrinkle there for us.
I will work on that, see if I can slide down and get that scoop. But a great drive from the Darlington Tigers. They overcame 2 penalties on that drive. One, they got a third down conversion. It was called back for an illegal shift. On the next play, Nate Koncheski hit Mitchell Rawton on a crossing pattern. The tight end rumbled down the field. It was about a 35-yard gain. From there, they kept the ball moving, but they got a big chop block penalty once they were on the 12-yard line that backed them up 15 yards. They overcame that with a pass to Trey Moore. There, it was missed. Yep. But they overcame that with a Koncheski to Trey Moore connection, and then a few plays later, we see Mazo rumble his way into the end zone from 3 yards out. The extra point was missed, so the Tigers took that opening drive and seized a 6-0 lead.
Yeah, I got so focused on trying to figure out who the new kicker was that I missed the fact that it didn't go through.
And I did notice I didn't see Ade out there. I'm trying to see if I can catch him on the sideline.
Going to be a short kick brought out here by Temple, and they're going to have the ball starting out at about the 30 is where it looks like it ended up.
Well, Temple won the toss, deferred, and Darlington made him pay for it. Went down the field and got it done. One familiar number that we didn't see out there on offense was Jace Donaldson. He has been battling a foot injury, and he is out there at the corner position playing defense. He is a heck of a contributor for this Darlington Tigers team.
So Temple is going to go to the line of scrimmage. They will be under center here for first down from the 30-yard line as they get ready to start their first drive. Their quarterback in this game is Jackson Gribben. He is a senior this year. Jackson takes the snaps, going to hand it off. They will run it right up the middle, just coming right at the Darlington Tigers there on first down and pick up a few yards there on that first play, about 4.
Yeah, some good penetration there from this Tigers front. Setting the tone.
I can't read their numbers, so
it's
I'm
tough.
going to need some help. I caught it was a 7 for the quarterback. Ribbon takes the snaps, going to hand it off. They run it towards the far side of the formation. The Tigers pounce and bring him down. Not much there.
That was number 8. They got the carry there. That's Jaden McDaniel, a senior. And he was coming out there from that A-back tight position.
And for people that are listening on the radio, the uniform combination you've got here from Temple, they've got white jerseys and pants, but they've got gold numbers with black trim, and it's
tough to read.
It's really tough to read.
They like to come up to the line, see what the defense is going to do, and then Gribben walks away and gets the call from the sideline. This Temple offense has been struggling to score the last 3 weeks.
Man motions to the right side. Quarterback's going to hand it off. They run a trap play, and he breaks through the line of scrimmage. One man to beat, and he catches him. Thank goodness. That was Stuart Grigsby with a touchdown-saving tackle right there. But what a big run from that young man.
Yeah, absolutely. They ran. Snap, and boy, howdy, was that 27 you said?
Isaiah Tinch.
Yeah, Isaiah Tinch with the carry, and he was close. If it wasn't for Stuart Grigsby, that was going to be 6 points. He got him by the back of the jersey.
Quarterback rolls up under center. Jackson Gribben takes the snap. He turns, hands it off. Nope, going to keep it, runs it towards the near side, sneaks out, and gets down to the 15-yard line before he's brought down by Trey Moore.
And that was a really good pull by Gribben. He took the snap, pulled it from the fullback, and had a huge hole off the right side. Right tackle did a good job sealing his block to open that up. And Temple is in the red zone threatening to answer.
Scrimmage quickly, going to send a wide receiver to the far side as we get ready for Gribben to take the snap. He hands it off, and they run it with a big fullback, and he stays up, still standing up, and he will be brought down at about the 10.
That's a big boy right there.
Goodness gracious.
Is that the coach's son? I'm trying to catch his number.
Yeah, me too. I still can't see it.
Yeah, it's 15.
That's Hudson Nix. You're right.
Absolutely. Remember him from last year. I think he's been eating his Wheaties.
I think you're right. And so that brings up second down and 5 at the 10-yard line. So a red zone trip here for the Temple Tigers. They'll line up, turn, fake the handoff, go to the tailback. He scoots through, and he is in. Touchdown, Temple Tigers.
27.
27.
That was Isaiah Tinch.
Isaiah Tinch, I'm sorry, folks. I can't read these numbers.
I'll help you as much as I can. They're really good on our monitor here, so I'll try to just go to the monitor and see if I can call the numbers because we want to get these kids' names right on the broadcast. So Temple with a chance to take the lead if they can knock the extra point through as Darlington missed their attempt.
So the kicker is on, and he will try to punch it through. Here is the kick, and that one is going to be through, and they will take a 1-point lead as I try to catch his number off of the video.
Right, it was
Well, we're getting a replay of the touchdown now, so I apologize. I think it was probably Ryan Rutledge, but we will correct that if we can here in just a couple of moments. But again, the way the lights shine on those gold numbers, people are at home are probably like, why can't you see the numbers? It looks different here in person for me.
It really does. If you're looking at it on the field, it's night and day. But it was Isaiah Tinch with a 10-yard touchdown run to cap off. How many plays did you have? 7?
I had 6, but it might have been 7.
Okay.
I might have missed writing one down.
Well, we'll just say a 6-play drive there, and Tinch caps it off with a 10-yard touchdown, and then they're able to knock the extra point through. And which player did you say was their kicker? I lost the number on that one as well.
92, Ryan Rutledge on the roster. I was looking to see if there were any others. It might have been Landon Garrett if it was 41.
I think it was 92.
Okay.
So I believe you got that right. I'll keep an eye out for that on Temple's next drive.
Yeah, I think it is Ryan Rutledge.
And, man, I said Hudson Nix has been eating his Wheaties. Are Wheaties even a thing anymore? Do they exist?
You know what, man? I haven't thought about that in a long time. I used to eat them, but I'd pour sugar all over them before I'd eat them. That's going to be a line drive kick. It's going to be picked up by Brooke. Temple's got some dangerous wheels if you can get him in space, and the Tigers do. He is about across midfield, and he'll be brought down right at midfield. What a run.
Yeah, nice job. Let's first credit Temple for playing shortstop because that ball took a wild hop on him. It was a squib kick. He fielded around the 25, and then he had a lot of green grass and some lead blockers out in front of him. Ty Wood, Trey Moore out there doing their jobs. And special team, Temple put a spin move on and just edged it to the 50-yard line before he went down. So a great return there for the Darlington Tigers.
1st and 10, Darlington Tigers going to send 2 wide receivers for this package, Ethan Height, and then in the slot will be Trey Moore. And right now, young man being brought out into the field, Maddox Rotten here for the Darlington Tigers on offense. And we're going to have a whistle and a timeout call by the Tigers. They had some personnel issues there before they getting ready to take the snap. So
good timeout. I mean, you just got a great return. You got great field position. You want to make sure you got your personnel right before you start this drive.
Get back out there in a pretty big hurry. Do want to mention we're going to have more football for you on the radio tomorrow. We're going to have Georgia Tech hosting Syracuse, and I should preface that by saying the number 7 AP ranked Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets at 7-0 for the first time since 1966. And they achieved this record after a win against Duke on October 2025. And you know what? Something interesting about that, the last time of course, that Georgia Tech did that, they had a quarterback whose last name was King. Kim King. The young left-hander.
Yeah, who went on to be a great radio broadcaster as well.
Yep, worked with Al Serraldo. And it's funny, every time I hear that nickname, my dad, when I was a kid, he used to call me the young left-hander, but I was long into adulthood before I realized what he was referencing on that. So
that's awesome, man. It's been a great season for the Jackets. They better be ready. Syracuse is they love to play spoiler. They did it to Miami last year. They'll be ready to come in and win, so that's a big ball game at noon tomorrow.
1st and 10 here for the Tigers at midfield. After the timeout, they get ready to take the snap. They're going to hand it off. They go to Jayton Mazzo, and not much there for him.
That's as well as you can defend the dive right there. Mazzo couldn't even get started, and he comes up. Oh, he's okay. All right. He did a little stretch there. Had me worried for a minute.
Darlington going to change a little personnel here. Caleb Covington on for Ethan Height. And they will go back to the huddle before they come back to the line of scrimmage and get ready for 2nd and what will be 11 after the loss of a yard. We've got 3:14 left to go here in the first quarter. Score update for you. Temple up by 1 point, 7-6. Quarterback under center. Konchesky takes the snap, looks to throw, puts it in the air, connects with Trey Moore, shakes off a defender, streaking down the sidelines on the far side, and he gets inside the 20, down to about the 15-yard line. What a play.
Moore is making the most of his opportunities. This is really just about a 6-7 yard route that he runs, and they've run it all year. 3-step drop and fire, turn, the ball is on him before he turns around, and the defender came up to try to make a play, and Moore just turned on the afterburners from there. Number 18 was able to track him down. That's Preston Griffin who got the tackle, but that's 2 huge plays for Trey Moore.
Absolutely. That was about a 34-yard play?
Absolutely. Down to the 17-yard line, so a 33-yard reception.
Quarterback under center, 2 wide receivers to the near side this time. Konchesky ready to take the snap from the 17's. Going to quick toss here to Miles Twyman. He stays up, gets to the edge, and gets knocked out of bounds just before the pylon. So that should be down right around the goal line.
Yeah, he tight-roped the sideline there. A little rocket toss, as Coach Groves dubs it. It's been a successful play for him all year long. Twyman makes the defender miss in the backfield, makes another one miss, and then shows his agility. He stayed in bounds, tiptoeing down the sidelines before he was knocked out of bounds just shy of the goal line.
All right.
We talked about these injuries too, Matt. It has allowed the coaches to kind of tinker with the offense a little bit, as Miles has been an A-back exclusively the last 2 weeks.
Absolutely. Forced them to create some wrinkles that they didn't necessarily intend, but they've been effective. Here is the snap to Konchesky, and it's quarterback dive into the end zone. Touchdown, Darlington Tigers. They have taken the lead back from the Temple Tigers with the 1-yard plunge from Nate Konchesky.
Right. How about that? That's the way to answer a 3-play, 50-yard drive. You had a 33-yard reception for Trey Moore, and then a 16-yard gain by Miles Twyman on the rocket toss. Got it right at the precipice of the goal line. Don't do anything fancy. Let your boy Nate just dive in behind the center and get the touchdown. Tiger strike.
And here comes the extra point. Leveless put the boot on it, and that one is going to be through. So the first one might have been just a little bit of jitters to start the game. I didn't see exactly what happened there, because on that first one I was still trying to pick up who it was, because we've had 3 different kickers so far this season.
Well, you're down Aselli, and you're also down to Desalu, so you've got both your kickers out, and this kid's having to step up under some pretty bright lights. So he knocked that one through the
2:42 left to go here in the opening quarter, and we've had a really exciting first quarter and just a night here at Darlington School at Chris Hunter Stadium, and we're glad since you couldn't be with us here tonight that you are with us either on the live stream or perhaps you may be listening the old school way on WLAQ 96.9 FM, 1410 AM, or online at WLAQ1410.com. All right, folks, the Tigers have it teed up. Loveless ready to put the boot on it here and kick it back to the Temple Tigers, and they will try to answer. That one's going to be end over end, and will drop in at about the 10. We'll be brought out here by a young man by the Temple Tigers who has some really fast wheels. He gets to the edge on the outside and gets down to about the 34 before they get him down. The ball came out?
No, I thought the ball came loose. That was him stumbling forward. He is quick, and he's got a lot of agility as well.
I think it was McDaniel again. Is that 8?
I'll let you know here in just a second. Yep, that was 8. That was. He got to about the 28-yard line, and he hit the R2 button. Still wouldn't go down, and fell forward all the way out to about the 34-yard line.
I just heard from our buddy Justin Franklin, who said he's got us, I think the way he worded it was twisted in on the old school radio. We appreciate you, man. Used to work with the Rome Emperors. There's the snap. Going to hand it off and runs towards the far side. Didn't pick up a whole lot there. Defense was ready for that.
That was excellent defense there from the Tigers. I need Justin to tell me who the Gators' next head coach is going to be. So shoot me a text, buddy. I need to know.
I bet y'all are both hoping it's going to be Lane Kiffin.
You know it.
That's what I would be hoping for sure. Picked up a yard there on first down. That brings up 2nd down and 9 here for the Temple Tigers. And they will come back to the line of scrimmage. Everybody in tight except for 2 wide receivers, 1 on each side. Quarterback Gribben getting ready to take the snap. And he's got the ball, turns, and I think he kept it that time. It looked like he was going to hand it to the big fullback, but I think he pulled it and ran the ball. The quarterback did.
And that was great recognition there. We talk about that eye discipline that time. The Darlington defense did not fall for the eye candy, stayed home, and that was big number 57, Lane Brasington, getting in there, making a play. Good tackle by that young man, driving the quarterback to the ground, putting him in a 3rd and long situation.
So you're going to have 3rd down and long here for Temple. They're going to send 2 wide to the near side here for this play. The rest of the team at the huddle. Now they'll run to the line of scrimmage and get ready to snap the ball with the quarterback under center. Man motions to the right. They're going to go quick toss here to the near side. That is going to be McDaniel with the carry. He has got fast wheels as across midfield and stays up as he goes out of bounds just before the 40-yard line.
Yeah, that's Temple running there in the wide receiver position and took the toss. The edge was set really well. Some good downfield blocking there by Preston Griffin. That's the 2nd time I've called his name for blocking well from his wide receiver position.
And so Temple comes back to the line of scrimmage with a wide receiver on the far side. Quarterback under center, takes the snaps, going to hand it off, goes to one of their fullbacks that time, or tailback rather, and he is going to be tripped up after a pickup of about, 5 or 6 yards. That was Tinch again on that play.
That was Tinch there.
I'm starting to figure out the numbers a little bit.
Well, you can start by that style of play. Tinch and McDaniel, both very athletic backs, but they have a little bit of different style in their stride. Tinch is real low to the ground, some real good horizontal movement.
So under center is Gribben. He takes the snaps, going to hand it off. They go up the middle, find a little seam there, got about 4 or 5 yards, took a punishing hit at the end of the play, but they picked up enough yards here to probably go for it here. Is it 3rd or 4th down?
It's 3rd down,
okay,
and this is 4 down territory. McDaniel takes that. J.B. Ragland and Stuart Grigsby eventually got him to the ground. This is certainly 4 down territory, but that's going to wind the clock down on the 1st quarter, Matt.
All right, we're going to take a break. You're listening to or watching live Darlington football right now. The Tigers on top 13-7. We're back for the 2nd quarter after a 1-minute timeout. We'll be back.
CUSA Steel is a family-owned full-line steel service center located in Rome, Georgia. Since 1972, we've been working to make our customers more efficient by providing steel product supply and processing all in one place. We are proud to provide a large range of products, including hot-rolled and cold-finished steel, stainless steel, galvanized steel, aluminum, and alloys. Our capabilities enable us to assemble and process steel orders within days, shortening your lead time. CUSA Steel. Steel for your project.
The Temple Tigers go back to the line of scrimmage. We'll have some score updates for you as we go along throughout the rest of the night, but it looks like they're about ready to run a play. So under center is going to be Gribben.
They get to the line quick.
They do.
They see the defense and adjust.
There is the snap, going to hand it off, run it off towards the right side. I think that was McDaniel again on that play.
Yeah, and it was enough for the 1st down based on the far sideline. Judge, he is indeed signaling to move the chains. If my stats are right, they are perfect 4 for 4 on 3rd downs tonight.
Impressive. Credit where credit's due for sure. Our buddy Justin says that Kiffin is the dream. Reality is probably Butch Jones, was his comment.
No.
Champions of life. There's the snap. Wasn't that who said that? Driving inside the 20 down to about the 15-yard line.
Yeah,
that was Nick.
Yeah, he is a load. You've got to get him low and drive him to the ground, because once he gets going, he just has to fall forward. I mean, that's a left tackle carrying the ball and carrying a host of Darlington defenders.
What was that, about a 14-yard pickup there on the play?
Absolutely.
All right, so 1st and 10 from the 16-yard line. As Gribben runs up under center real quick, then backs back up as he's been doing. Then now he's back under center, takes the snap, hands it off real quick, goes up the middle, and, well, went off to the right. Got a few yards.
About 4 or 5, if you can believe it. Looked like he was greeted.
Who was the ball carrier that time? I didn't catch the number.
That was Nix again.
Nix again.
Yeah. Yeah, and Ty Wood was riding him like a bronco. Stuart Grigsby came up, put a hit on him as well, and he still got 5 yards.
So that's to bring up 2nd and 6. Where's the ball? About the 12? I think so. Yeah.
Yep, right there around the 13, 14-yard line.
And so Gribben takes the snap, is going to hand it off. They run it towards the right side. He stays up, dives towards the end zone, and he is in. That's going to be Isaiah Tench with another touchdown here for the Temple Tigers.
We've got ourselves a track meet, ladies and gentlemen. Both teams have scored on their first 2 possessions. And right now, the big difference is missed extra points. So Temple will have the opportunity to take the lead here if they can pop this one between the pipes. Man, I'm going to get the number of your kicker.
I think it's Landon Garrett.
I think you're right. It looks like a 42 or 3.
There is the kick, and that one is going to be through, and they regain the lead by 1 point.
And Tench took that ball from 13 yards out. We're going to call it 13 yards. That's his 2nd touchdown of the night. And Temple answers the bell. They had a big 3rd down that they had to face in that drive, but they've been flawless thus far on their 3rd down conversions. That can be a big stat to follow as we go forward. If you can't get off the field on 3rd down, it's hard to win football games. But right now, both offenses really looking sharp, and it'll be up to these defensive staffs to make some adjustments to slow the other team down.
Well, I tell you what, Ian, we got some Lindale royalty listening to the broadcast.
Do we
watching
really?
Tonight. Clay, the voice of the Pepperell Dragons, is listening. They got a bye week this week, and
you should be scouting herd, buddy, or out here with us.
He thinks that Lane's going to be staying at Ole Miss too.
Okay, all right. Well, we'll see when the dust settles. A lot of decent candidates out there. Wouldn't mind Drinkwitz. We'll see. We'll see.
All right, so we get ready for Temple to kick it back to the Tigers as they will try to answer the bell. And here is the kick. That's going to be end over end, drops in. Miles Twyman fields it just inside the 10, streaks down the near sidelines. He's got a seam across the 40. Here he goes. Now he's at the 30, 20, 15, 10, 5. Gone. Darlington Tigers score. A big kick return for Miles Twyman, over 90 yards to pay dirt. And the Tigers take the lead back on a kick return. What a play.
I said we had a track meet, and Miles just blew that straightaway out, man. When he gets to full speed and that stride is just pumping down the sidelines, it's a beautiful thing to watch. He's, you know, his speed is very, very graceful. For such a big guy, man, he gets out there and just looks good when he gets that motor running.
All right, we get ready for the extra point here from Lovelace, and there is the kick, and that one is going to sneak over, so it is good.
Lovelace settling in. Well, that's a lot of pressure, and he's knocked his last 2 through the pipes.
We're glad you're with us here tonight on WLAQ for Darlington football, and just like that, the Darlington Tigers have taken a 20-14 lead over the Temple Tigers. I don't know what the official yardage on that was, but he fielded the ball, I think, just inside the 10, so it was at least 90 yards, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, let's call it a 90-yard kickoff return for Miles Twyman, the senior. Strutting his stuff, man. Good Lord. When you saw him turn on the afterburners, even at the 40, he had 2 guys to beat, but you knew he was gone. I mean, it was just, there was no stopping him.
You know, Miles had 3 touchdowns in the game last week, and it's good to see him, back in top form, because obviously he got hurt in the first game of the season. Really had to work hard to battle his way back, and man, he has made a tremendous difference in the games throughout the season that he's been in, but boy, especially last week and now off to a great start in this game as well. It's another former Tiger walking into the stands, Gatlin Hancock. And there is the kick. It's going to be brought out there by Temple. They get it across the 20, so good coverage there.
Yeah, and Gatlin's he's got a business mullet now. He's not rocking the old school mullet. Good coverage there. And we'll see if Darlington Tigers can get a stop. So far, nobody's gotten a stop on defense. That last one can be credited to Darlington special teams, but each possession has yielded a score.
And so Gribben gets ready to line his guys up here as they get ready to try to answer the bell with just under 10 minutes to go. Train 2. Wow. And they will run the ball here on first down.
Good yardage there. That was Gribben. He pulled the ball from Nix. And Konchesky got on his ankles, but he was able to fall forward and gain
8 yards.
8 yards.
Got it down to the 33-yard line, so that's going to set up second down and 2. Sorry I missed that call. I looked down at my notes. I was looking at all the scoring.
You blink in this game and you've missed a lot.
Man. Quarterback under center takes the snap, is going to hand it off and run up the middle, and that's a good hard run there for Nix. He gets spun around at about the 40. We'll see where they stop his forward progress. Obviously got the first down, though, by a lot. Got about 7 yards there.
Just out there churning butter, man. With those legs, just driving. Trey Moore went for the strip, which was a pretty heady play because they had him by the ankles. Almost forced the fumble.
Nehemiah Dorsey is on for this package. Coach Groves talked about what a tough, strong, and powerful player he is. He is running back, so I wouldn't be surprised to see him getting a carry here. We'll see what happens. He's in the backfield. There's the snap. They're going to fake the handoff to him and give it off to Tench. He runs off to the right side, and he is still up, carrying a guy with him. Got about 6 yards.
Tell you what, you've got to keep driving your legs against these Temple ball carriers because they're going to drive theirs till the finish. They're not down until they are down.
And there's a young man that's down right now for Temple. That's number 51, Junior Presley. He's probably going to need a little help here in just a moment. Trainer's on to have a look at it. But then he went back down to the turf pretty quickly, yeah.
Yep, he's up. That's a big boy right there. And he's hurting.
Yeah, he's about 6 foot. 280 pounds. He may have gained a few since they gave us these numbers. He is a big kid. And that is one thing that this team does have a pretty decent amount of his size. You know.
They're big on both sides of the line of scrimmage. The Tigers are handling that pretty well tonight. I don't see them getting pushed around. There are running lanes for these Temple backs, and they're making the most of it. But the Tigers are getting to them close to the line of scrimmage. They're not leaving huge gaps for them to run through. What's impressed me is just how tough they are to get to the turf. They just keep driving and getting those tough yards after contact. So the Tigers are just going to have to fight that much harder. What does Coach Grove say? Get lower.
Exactly.
You don't like it? Get lower.
Temple Tigers back to the line of scrimmage. There's the snap. Gribben takes it, and a flag comes in immediately.
I think that might be the first whistle on Temple, and that would be big for the Darlington faithful. Are they going to call Darlington for encroachment? Yep, false start.
I just got a message from our buddy Kenneth Studdard of Dogwood Books, and it was a meme, and it was related to Franklin.
Kevin Franklin? Yeah, you know, everybody's... James. James Franklin. Yeah, everybody's so hard on James Franklin. I mean, the guy won a ton of football games, though. He just couldn't win the big ones. So...
I'm guessing that's not your vote.
If we end up, I kind of feel like that's who will end up.
Bobbled, almost fumbled, and Tench is going to fall on it, but they take a pretty significant loss on the play.
Yes, they do. And for the first time tonight, they're at third and really long. They're back behind the sticks. It's going to be about third and, where do they have the ball spotted? Well, right at 3rd and 10, I guess, after the loss.
And so Darlington will try to pin those ears back on defense and see if they can do something that neither team's been able to do so far in this game, and that is come up with a stop.
Yeah,
both teams
big
have gotten
opportunity
points
here
every time they've had the ball.
Yeah, watch for the screen. I can definitely see this Temple offense going to that. They're yet to throw the ball tonight.
Quarterback rolls up under center. Going to have 2 wide receivers to the near side. There's the snap, and we got another flag that came in.
That's going to be a procedure penalty, so that's going to back Temple up even farther. Now I'd watch for the screen even more. It's a safe play in 3rd and long. We have not seen Jackson Gribben drop back and fire the ball once, so I don't think they're going to take a shot play here, but if they could pop a screen, they could pick up the yards after catch.
We'll have the Honeymoon Bakery icing on the cake player of the game coming up after tonight's game. Of course, last week it was Bo Powers, who had over 150 yards, scored a couple of touchdowns, caught a 34-yard pass right before one of his touchdowns. Did an excellent job last week, as he does every week. But it was a great team effort last week.
Yeah, and we're getting the same kind of effort tonight. A lot of Tigers contributing. Some big catches from Trey Moore, and 3 different Tigers have scored touchdowns.
2 wide receivers on each side now. Quarterback goes into the gun, and snap is way behind him. Tigers are trying to chase him down, and 4 guys are on him, and they are going to sack him inside the 10. My goodness.
Yeah, and that was a gutsy move there by Gribben to try to scoop and make something happen. That was so far behind him that really to protect himself, and he's injured. He probably should have just fallen on the ball, but you can't blame a playmaker for trying to make a play. But he put himself in a bad situation there with 4 Tigers all over him. J.B. Ragland
got there first.
Yeah, Ty Wood, Stuart Grigsby, and then Lane Brasington as well. And Gribben is on the turf. He is still on the turf. Let's hope he just got the wind knocked out of him. He was driven to the turf hard. Again, you want to go out there and make a play, and you got to credit him for trying to make that play. But that was a perilous situation.
Well, folks, we do want to remind you that at the end of tonight, after we have the Honeymoon Bakery icing on the cake player of the game, we'll have the Rome Orthopedic Center High School football scoreboard show. And, of course, Lynn and Austin will give you the information on other area games taking place tonight in terms of scores. And, of course, they'll have their cast of characters calling into the show. And now he's up, and they're getting him off the field. I think we'll see him again before the game's over.
Well, that is the first failed 3rd down conversion of the night, and it resulted in a 30-yard loss. So we are staring at something you don't say very often. 4th down and 40.
Wow.
What play do you run then? If you have to go for it, what do you run?
Right
Hail
now,
Mary.
They're going to have to punt it out of the end zone here in just a couple of moments. We'll see if we can catch the punter's number. And here comes the kick. And that one is going to drop in, fair catch at about the 35-yard line. As able to handle it was the Darlington Tigers' Nate Konchesky.
I did not catch the punter's number. I couldn't see it even on the monitor here. But Nate Konchesky got under that one and fielded it. That was a tough one to catch, but a great starting field. 35.
So the Tigers will get ready to roll to the line of scrimmage. They get a stop. First time a team has been able to do that in this game. We've got 6:39 left to go in the first half. Darlington leads it 20-14. A golden opportunity right here to make it a 2-score game if they can score. They take the snap, get it to J.B. Ragland on a pass out to the flat. He stays up, gets 6 yards. Is that Jace? Oh, it was. It sure was.
Yeah, we haven't seen him on offense yet.
Jersey was bunched up, so I thought it was a 2.
Yeah, that's the style these days, to tuck. Only getting older.
Take it easy on us. We are getting long in the tooth, and it's causing some issues, obviously, for me tonight, for sure. But that's all right. You just roll with it. Going to be Trey Moore wide to the far side. That brings up 2nd down and 4. Just under 6 minutes to go here in the half. And there is the snap. Going to hand it off and run it up the middle. And Miles Twyman shakes off some guys carrying the pile. He gets down inside the 15.
Miles is like, line me up at the A. Line me up at the B. Give me the kickoffs. I can do it all, Coach. He's a senior. He's not just a great player, but a great
a man on a mission on that play, and my goodness.
Yes, he was, and a beautiful camera angle from the backside here. If you're watching on the live stream, showing Miles' determination to drag the pile and pick up some tough yards there. And a big first down for the Darlington Tigers, knocking on the door now on this, their 4th possession of the game. Really only their 3rd, but
Konchesky under center takes the snap. He is going to turn, hands it off. They go up the middle with the play, and I think they got it just around the 10-yard line on that first down play. And was that – who got the rock there?
I'm trying to see. I thought it was
Jace.
Jace.
It was Bo at first, but
I think it was Jace. Nope. You were correct.
Yeah.
Good eye, Matt. See, you just needed to talk about it, and then 2020 kick back in.
Yeah, right. Oh my goodness,
it's a superpower, man.
Quarterback's under center. Konchesky takes the snap, gives it to Twyman, stays up, and he is in from 10 yards out. The Darlington Tigers score. And that was Miles Twyman. Boy, he earned the heck out of those points. Wow.
Touchdown Twyman to the house. His 2nd touchdown of the night. That one on a 10-yard carry. The last one was a 90-yard kickoff return. And the Darlington Tigers now have a 2-possession lead.
And here comes the extra point from Georgie Lovelace. And what we got here? Yep,
Good.
He got it through.
Lovelace,
right.
Flawless after that early miss.
And the Tigers have taken a 27-14 lead, and we have 4 minutes and 36 seconds left in the 2nd quarter of this really super exciting football game. And really, Ian, last week at Model, we talked about it earlier. You know, Darlington Tigers firing on all cylinders on offense. They scored 47 points to Model's 21. It really felt like they turned a corner in terms of confidence and just taking that next step this season. And they've got a real opportunity here. Obviously, with the win last week, if they can find a way to win this game tonight, set up a showdown with Bremen to end the season, who knows? There may still be a home playoff game in play for this season. I'm not necessarily saying that would be automatic if they win those 2 games, but with the power rankings and the strength of schedule and everything that Darlington has, it may be in play. I don't know how to do all the formulas and things like that to figure things out there. But
well, we won't count our chickens before they hatch, but this Darlington off the win over Model and getting some of these players back. They've been battling injuries all year. It's about as healthy as they've been.
There is the kick from Lovelace. That'll be end over end. It'll be fielded and brought out from the 12, streaking down towards the far sidelines. It's going to be the Temple player that fielded it, and he gets about to the 40, so that was a good return.
Matt, there's a young man down there doing push-ups, 27 of them. I'm going to volunteer you for the 4th quarter.
Brother, I couldn't do get some exercise, if I'm being completely honest.
Me too, buddy. Let's accountability partners going forward. Let's get back at it, Matt, back in the gym.
Yeah, we did that, and right now we're members of the YMCA, and so we'll have to get back over there. So anyway, Temple goes back to the line of scrimmage, which is at the 40, and they are going to run the ball on first down, and not much there.
Good stop there from the Darlington Tigers on the dive play. Ball hit the turf. Nix had to drop down and get on top of that one. I thought I saw that. But on the replay, it was clear that the exchange was mishandled.
Going to be a wide receiver on the near side here for Temple. They'll have the ball at the 41-yard line after a short gain on the play there from Nix. As Gribben, the quarterback, runs him back to the line of scrimmage. There's the snap. Going to run it, and they get around the line of scrimmage. Stays up. This is going to be McDaniel with a video game type move inside the 40.
Yeah. The first little side hop to the right and then sticking his leg in the ground. That was some Barry Sanders-esque juke right there. That was pretty amazing from McDaniel.
And that was a 21-yard play there, I believe, for Temple. And I didn't say the button that you always say because I don't play video games.
R2, L2, man. If you those are your side hops.
I am not.
They are dangerous. Back in the PlayStation 2 era, you couldn't stop it.
Quarterback under center, Gribben gives it back to McDaniel. He starts to hurdle a guy and then goes off to the right side, picks up a couple of yards.
And McDaniel's down. He's hurt. His arm is laying flat. He's got a stinger at a minimum there. He kind of took a funny hop, too, when he was trying to cut back. But this could be a serious injury, unfortunately. I hate to say that.
All right, so we're going to have a little bit of a stoppage of play here. And this will get us an opportunity to let you know what's coming up next week. We mentioned earlier that Darlington, the last 2 weeks of the regular season, after being the ultimate road warriors for much of the season, playing 6 of their 10 regular season games on the road, they're at home the rest of the way. Of course, tonight and then next week they're going to host a really good Bremen team. And to tell you a little bit about Bremen, they entered the night road against a really good Haralson County team tonight. And the Devils' 2 region wins are over Model and Temple, and their losses are to a really good Pepperell team, and obviously Heard County, a team that hasn't lost a game this year. And Heard and Pepperell are going to play each other for the region championship coming up next Friday. So I know a lot of people will be excited about that game coming up.
Absolutely, and that's going to be a big one. And if Darlington can get the win here, it's certainly going to help their playoff chances. McDaniel's up on his feet. He's got a little hitch in the giddy up there. So we'll see how serious that is. Hopefully he's okay. Didn't look good at first, but he might have just taken a helmet to his leg there. But his arm was laying flat too, so I think he just got his bell rung.
And it's also going to be Halloween night next Friday.
I know. What are we dressing up as? Darlington announcers. How about that?
Well, I tell you what, man. I do have a pretty epic mullet wig that I had lost and I uncovered not too long ago. So you may see me with something I usually don't have, a head of hair. There's the snap. Ball loose on the turf, but I believe that Temple was able to cover.
Nix was able to jump on top of that, or was that Tinch?
I think it was McDaniel.
Might have been.
It might have been Dorsey. He's got 0. It kind of looks like the 8.
Yeah, that is Dorsey.
Yeah, Dorsey.
In for McDaniel. Mm-hmm. And we've got ourselves a big 3rd and long here. Only 2 minutes and 43 seconds left in the first half, so a stop here would give Darlington's offense a chance to extend the lead.
So again, 3rd and 9. There's the snap. Gribben is going to hand the ball off. They go up the middle, and they stopped him short of the first down, so this is going to set up 3rd and fairly short here.
It's 4th. It'll be 4th and decision time. You're in no man's land. I think Temple will roll the dice here and go for it, and they'll let that clock run down as much as they can before they snap the ball so that if they do fail to convert, they leave as little time as possible for Darlington to mount a scoring drive.
Tinch on the carry on that last play. So that brings them down to the 36-yard line. Now leading at 27-14.
And they may take a timeout. I think they'll let the play clock run down, take a timeout, make sure they've got the right play on. And they may end up trying to – well, it's 4th and 6, so the drawing offsides wouldn't work, but we may still see a punt.
Well, let's take the timeout also. 1:46 left to go in the half. Darlington 27, Temple 14. We're back for 4th down and 6 after a quick 30-second break.
At Rome Orthopedic Center, we salute students, freshmen and seniors, athletes and artists, first stringers and choral singers, band majors and game changers. We hope you never need orthopedic care, but if you do, choose the only practice in the Rome area solely dedicated to the orthopedic needs of the students and families in our community. Rome Orthopedic Center. To make an appointment, call 706-292-0040.
Welcome back into live coverage of Darlington football on the live stream and then also on the radio, however you're with us. We're glad you're with us because we're glad to be here and watching some Darlington football on a Friday night. Nothing like a Tiger on a Friday night, as they say, Ian.
That's right. And Miles Twyman, Bo Powers, Levi Duggan, Bryson Jones telling the bleacher creatures, get on your feet, make some noise, big 4th down upcoming.
So 4th down and 6. There is the snap. Quarterback is rolling out. Different quarterback here. Throws the toss and connects. That's going to be caught at about the 22-yard line. I think that was number 10, Brady Rogers, with the pass, if I caught the number correctly. But it was definitely not Jackson Gribben on that pass, unless I'm badly mistaken. But is it
10 or 18? It was 18. It was 18. And a dart there
Preston Griffin.
Yeah, who's had a couple of good blocks at the wide receiver position, and the receiver on that was number 82, Isaiah Montgomery.
And they're going to run the football on the next play pretty quickly here, and they got it inside the 10. So an effective play and a first down and goal it should be.
And keep in mind, they deferred on the opening toss, so they will get the ball back. If they can score here, they could swing that two-possession.
It's not first and goal. It was at the 11. There's the snap. Going to hand it off, run the football. Got about maybe 3 yards, I want to say there. Yeah.
Yep.
They're wanting to run tempo, Ian.
Well, they've got 2 timeouts here. They really don't have to be in a hurry with 1:11 left.
Ran a couple of quick plays there, and then they take a timeout. We're going to keep it here through this timeout because we've only got 1:11 left until we get you to halftime. But do you have any scores of local interest for us, Ian?
I do, and I'm going to have to call this one down the line because sometimes people troll on ScoreStream, but I've got Murray County leading Rockmart. 23-3 is the score I have. That cannot be right.
Nothing against Murray County, but I just don't think
well, I said that about LFO a few weeks ago, and it was right. So, we'll have to check that score. Cartersville up 23-0 on Hiram in the second quarter. Rome handling business on the road, sealing that region championship. They're up 24-0 over New Manchester in the second quarter. Gordon Lee up 14-0 over CUSA. Model hanging tough in the second quarter, only down 27-14 to a Heard County team we got to see a few weeks ago. That's a really, really good squad. Calhoun trailing Woodland 14-7 in the second quarter. The last score of local interest that I have is Chattooga up on Dade County, 21-14. Okay, it was a troll job. Rockmart indeed handling business.
Not surprised by that at all. And that's one of the things I just don't like about
I don't either. It drives me crazy. I mean, I don't want to doubt what I'm looking at, but it's, too easy to troll.
2 wide receivers on the near side, 1 on the far side as we're going to pitch it to the near side. Trick play towards the end zone. That's incomplete. So they actually snapped it to a different guy there.
Yeah.
Then tossed it to the guy that was in at quarterback. That was number 18, Preston Griffin. He tossed it towards the end zone on a trick play on the reverse there, and it was incomplete.
And Nick's got that hit Nick's right in the face mask. He still got the pitch off, but it threw the timing of the trick play open. The receiver was actually open, but the timing was so disrupted by the mishandled snap that the pass was off target. And that'll force a big third down here with 1 minute and 8 seconds. If Darlington can get off the field and hold them to a field goal here, it would be huge. Because, again, Temple receives the second half opening kickoff.
And quarterback under center takes the snap. He's going to hand it off, and they will run the football. He's going to be stopped short. And, again, the quarterback is Preston Griffin.
And now we'll see if they trot the field goal team out. They're going to go.
Like it. No.
They're going to go. So and this is a huge play. A huge play. So if they can keep them out of the end zone, it will be huge for Darlington.
Fourth down, the ball is at the 4-yard line. And they come back to the line of scrimmage here. Going to send a wide receiver to the near side. Temple gets ready to come back to the line of scrimmage. Quarterback is Preston Griffin. We're going to have a timeout. Yep. All right, so Temple takes the timeout. We're going to take this with them. 32.2 seconds left to go. It's going to be 4th down and 4. Tigers lead at 27-14. We're back in 30.
Shop for your next car, truck, or SUV at Riverside Auto Group. Check out riversideautogroup.com today to browse their selection or visit with them in person at Riverside Chevrolet GMC in Rome, Riverside Toyota in Rome, and the all-new Riverside GMC Cadillac in Cartersville. Locally owned and operated by the Welburn family since 1974. That's Riverside Auto Group. Visit riversideautogroup.com.
That sounds right.
We welcome you back here live at Chris Hunter Stadium. Darlington football. Temple coming back to the line of scrimmage with 4th down and 4. And the Temple Tigers come to the line of scrimmage as the Darlington Tigers try to get a key stop here in this game. And what we got here?
Chess match.
Yeah,
that's Wayne Groves taking the timeout. He wanted to see how they lined up, and they'll adjust from there.
And so we're just going to keep it right here through this timeout as we're this close to halftime, and we will have some more scores for you at halftime. And what you got, man?
Well, we have a correction, and we knew it wasn't right, but Zeke Palermo just let me know Rockmart is winning that game 30-3. That sounds like reality. Yeah. And you mentioned to me that Chattooga and Dade played yesterday. So I messed that up, but Chattooga won that game 28-21.
28-21. Yeah, Clay Graham let us know that, and I had forgotten about that. I actually saw that game was being played online last night. They had some kind of a stream or something, and we saw that. But anyway.
Important thing to note when we come back from this timeout. Dade spent their last timeout. So if they get the first down and it's short of the goal line, they are going to have to hustle to get another play off. So if Darlington can just keep them short of the goal line, it'd be great to stop them outright. But if they can stop them short of the goal line, it's going to be hard for them to run another play with only 32 seconds left.
So Temple ready to run back to the line of scrimmage here right now in the huddle. 32.2 seconds left to go. 4th down. And 3 to go. There's the snap. Quarterback's going to hand it off to Nix, and he dives into the end zone. He's quite a load to bring down, and he punches it in from 3 yards out.
Indeed, and you can hear the offensive coaches for Temple scream with joy there as Nix plunges into the end zone. That is a tough man to tackle.
20 pending PAT coming up here from the Temple Tigers. And it looks like they're going to line up and try to take a swing at it and see if they can get it through here.
I don't see a holder. There we go.
It's Landon Garrett, number 41, the kicker, but that looks like a 42 to me.
42 or 3.
And if it is, it would be Tommy Muratore, and there's a flag.
And they're going to get bailed out here. Darlington was in the neutral zone. Yeah, the snap was actually high. You said that was number 42?
That's what it looks like to me. He's not listed as a kicker, but
I think you're right. It's 42
it looks
or 40.
like a 2.
Yeah, there's not a 43 on the roster, so that has to be 42.
But 41 is listed as a kicker, so that's why I thought it was him earlier. But I swear it looks like a 2. But here they go again. Now they will go for 2. There's the snap. Quarterback's going to turn, hand it off, and they power it through with a big man with a lot of muscle going through the line. And they're able to punch it in and get the 2 points there. And we're going to try to catch who it was who was able to punch that in there. I didn't get his number. As often has been the case in this game. Was it Nix?
Yeah, pretty sure. We'll watch the replay.
We'll watch the replay here just to make sure. But
no.
Yeah,
it was. It was Nix. He got behind big number 51. They lined up Junior Presley at fullback there. That's what threw me off. And he helped clear the way. And so it's a 5-point game. And that's a 2-for-1 possession flip there because Temple managed the clock well, got the score, and they get the opening kickoff. So if they can score on their opening drive, they can regain the lead after falling behind 2 possessions.
And so Nick scores on the 3-yard touchdown run, and then he also gets the 2-point conversion as well.
How long was that drive? How many plays?
I don't know, man. I lost count.
Yeah, 10 plus, easy.
I'm too busy over here squinting to try to see if I can see these numbers and trick my brain into recognizing what they are when the light shine on them than to take notes tonight. So I apologize on that. All right, Temple ready to kick it back here to the Darlington Tigers. Of course, last time they did that, we remember what happened.
We do.
Well, that was 2 drives ago, but there is the kick. That's going to be a line drive.
There's
we got a whistle.
Yeah, and they're not shying away from kicking it back to Miles. Usually in that situation, that's going to be on the kicking team, and they're going to back it up 5 yards.
And the stadium band strikes up Sweet Caroline. Always a fun song at a stadium, isn't it?
That's right.
Especially when you're at Fenway Park in Boston, Massachusetts.
One of your favorite cities to visit.
Love it. Absolutely love it.
Who you taking in the World Series, Matt? Is it going to be the Dodgers or is it going to be the underdog Blue Jays?
I think the Dodgers are going to get it, man.
They've got so much talent.
They're just
ridiculous.
Loaded from top to bottom with pitching, and of course, they can score some runs. They've got a little bit of everything.
I'll be
a lot of everything.
I'm rooting for the Blue Jays, man. Can't help it.
All right, here's the kickoff now from the 35. Going to squib. Picking it up is going to be the Darlington Tigers, and Rotten who picks it up and gets it across midfield. And that's Mitchell.
You know, you're down 2 kickers right now. You've got a young man who's having to step in with Georgie Lovelace to kick those extra points. If you had Desalu, I could see him taking some shots. They may take a couple of Hail Marys at the end zone here, let Konchesky uncork a few. See if Trey Moore, Jace Donaldson, or Height can go up and snag one. They've got a height advantage over these DBs of Temple.
Let's bring up 1st and 10 for the Tigers at the 49 in Temple territory. There's the snap. Going to brings them down. A short gain of about a yard.
And Darlington's going to be content. Well, they are going to spend their last time out. You know, you try to pop the run there, see if you can get within striking distance, but it was well defended. But I was surprised. Temple was playing press coverage out there on the far side. So the coaches take a timeout. Maybe they saw something there, and if Temple gives them a chance to win a one-on-one matchup, they can beat them over the top.
12.2 seconds left to go here in the half. Darlington has a 5-point lead, 27-22. Kind of an unusual score because Darlington missed their first extra point, and then we had Temple come in with a 2-point conversion there on that last scoring drive.
Every point matters.
100%. Of course, you'll finish up the regular season next week. And obviously at this point forward, you know, Darlington is in the playoffs at the end of the year, so just trying to play that positioning game right now to get those power rankings as good as possible, get the best draw. And there is going to be a bye week, so to speak, at the end of the regular season. So the regular season ends on the 31st, but the first round of the playoffs won't be until November the 14th. So important note there. But this brings up 2nd down and 9. Ball at the 48-yard line after the short gain on 1st down. Konchesky under center ready to take the snap, and he's got the ball rolling back, looking to pass, puts the ball in the air. Bo Powers has got it! Catches his inside the 20 and is down at the 16.
You got to get on the ball. There's no timeouts. So Konchesky's going to have to get these guys down there when the ball is set. They should have an opportunity to spike. The official mishandles the ball. That helps the Tigers.
All right, now the Tigers will spike the ball.
And Matt, I said it on the play before. They were playing press coverage. They had a chance to beat them deep, and Bo Powers was wide open. I mean, nobody covered him coming out of the backfield, and Konchesky puts that one on the money. Powers couldn't keep his feet, or he would have waltzed into the end zone. He had to kind of stop and come back to that ball. We're going to get a field goal attempt. Yeah, I love it. Yep. Love it. Give the young man an opportunity here.
35 yards out, a 35-yard attempt coming up here for Georgie Lovelace here in just a couple of moments. See if they can tack on 3 more points and make it an 8-point ball game. And here comes the snap. Kick is on the way, and it is going to be blocked by Temple. So no good. It was blocked.
Just scored a touchdown.
What happened? What happened?
Yeah, it was deflected.
It was deflected.
Yeah. It was a live ball.
Oh, my goodness. Miles picked it up.
What a swing.
Down.
What a swing.
My goodness.
I don't know if I've ever seen that.
I've never seen that. So we apologize for that.
Wait.
Let's see what the official call here is in a second.
We need Steve Conrad.
Yeah.
Paging Steve Conrad.
Looks like they're waving it off.
And Twyman is arguing it. I didn't think you could advance a block offensively.
And right now, Coach Groves is going out onto the here. But like you say, man, we've watched a lot of football. I've never seen anything quite like that.
Yeah, the ball was blocked.
And it was spinning around at about the 5. Miles picked it up and scooted into the end zone.
And he didn't even think he scored a touchdown. He threw it. He casually threw it over the goalpost afterwards. I don't know the rule there. I really don't. I'm not going to try to act like I do. So if anybody out there listening can tell us if you can advance a field goal attempt that's been blocked, I didn't believe you could do that. So I think the officials got it right. But there's a lot of discussion going on out here.
Yep. Going to be a meeting of the minds here as teams will start heading towards the locker room, though it looks like. So I think we are going to be officially at halftime with the score at 27-22 in favor of the Darlington Tigers, up by 5. We're going to send it back to the studio for a 3-minute timeout. Unusual into the half. We'll be back to talk more about it and get our halftime period started. We'll be right back in 3 minutes. Tigers lead at 27-22.
CUSA Steel is a family-owned full-line steel service center located in Rome, Georgia. Since 1972, we've been working to make our customers more efficient by providing steel product supply and processing all in one place. We are proud to provide a large range of products, including hot-rolled and cold-finished steel, stainless steel, galvanized steel, aluminum, and alloys. Our capabilities enable us to assemble and process steel orders within days, shortening your lead time. CUSA Steel. Steel for your project.
At Rome Orthopedic Center, we salute students, freshmen and seniors, athletes and artists, first stringers and choral singers, band majors and game changers. We hope you never need orthopedic care, but if you do, choose the only practice in the Rome area solely dedicated to the orthopedic needs of the students and families in our community. Rome Orthopedic Center. To make an appointment, call 706-292-0040.
The deadline for 2026-2027 priority application and financial aid is February 15th. Schedule your private campus tour at www.darlingtonschool.org/visit or by emailing admission at darlingtonschool.org.
The deadline for 2026-2027 priority application and financial aid is February 15th. Schedule your private campus tour at www.darlingtonschool.org, visit, or by emailing admission at darlingtonschool.org.
Ian, I guess it's like on the show I Love Lucy. Remember that show when they'd say, "Lucy, you have some explaining to do," or whatever.
Right.
We got it's explanation time here on the broadcast. We had an unusual end to the first half of the game. Ian, let's break it down what the officials told us.
I'll be honest with you, Matt. You know how sometimes we listen to our GPS and we know where we're going, but we listen to the GPS instead and we end up in a bad situation. Well, I knew that. You can't advance. Once that ball's past the line of scrimmage, the offense cannot pick it up and advance the ball. So we did talk to one of the officials. Blocked that ball. Had the trajectory of the ball gone behind the line of scrimmage and Darlington recovered it, they could have advanced the football. But because it went beyond the line of scrimmage, it was dead at first contact. So technically Temple would have gotten that ball around the 18-yard line. I'm pretty sure that's where the first player got a mid on it. Or at worst, the 3, because high school officials don't have the luxury of going to the replay booth to see where the first contact was. So anyway, no touchdown for the Tigers. It was the right call. Sorry about the confusion. They've played a heck of a ball game. It has been exciting. No lack of playmaking on either side. The offenses have been explosive. and a scoring fest here at Chris Hunter Stadium in the first half.
As a matter of fact, if I looked at it right, that was the only drive of the game where the Tigers did not come up with points.
That's
in the
right,
first half.
and I wouldn't count that one against them.
Darlington
Yeah,
Tigers,
that's right. Yep.
So each team had one drive where they didn't get points, if I looked at that correctly.
You did.
Yeah.
You did.
All right. So right now with 16:33 left to go in our halftime period, again, Darlington leads it at halftime 27-22 after a half of football that had a little bit of everything. It was really super exciting, and it's been the kind of game I think that everybody expected it was going to be tonight. I think most people coming into this one thought we were going to have a pretty close game, and that certainly was the case there in the first half. We're glad you're with us. It is Darlington football on WLAQ and also the live stream. We are right here at halftime. We're so glad that you're with us, and we should also mention that it's alumni weekend, and so right now they're lining up the homecoming court. We'll be making announcements and things of that nature throughout the halftime period. And so we're really just getting started here with the halftime period here at Darlington. Let's take another 3-minute break. When we come back in, we'll recap the first half of the ball game, kind of catch you up on the scoring summary there. We'll also run down some scores from around other area games, courtesy of Rome Orthopedic Center. At the end of tonight's action, we'll have the Honeymoon Bakery icing on the cake player of the game. And we also have the Rome Orthopedic Center High School football scoreboard show coming up later tonight. So in some situations, you would say that we are really just getting cranked up in terms of our football coverage tonight. We're back in 3 minutes.
CUSA Steel is a family-owned full-line steel service center located in Rome, Georgia. Since 1972, we've been working to make our customers more efficient by providing steel product supply and processing all in one place. We are proud to provide a large range of products, including hot-rolled and cold-finished steel, stainless steel, galvanized steel, aluminum, and alloys. Our capabilities enable us to assemble and process steel orders within days, shortening your lead time. CUSA Steel. Steel for your project.
Shop for your next car, truck, or SUV at Riverside Auto Group. Check out riversideautogroup.com today to browse their selection or visit with them in person at Riverside Chevrolet GMC in Rome, Riverside Toyota in Rome, and the all-new Riverside GMC Cadillac in Cartersville. Locally owned and operated by the Welburn family since 1974. That's Riverside Auto Group. Visit riversideautogroup.com.
The deadline for 2026 to 2027 priority application and financial aid is February 15th. Schedule your private campus tour at www.darlingtonschool.org/visit or by emailing admission@darlingtonschool.org.
Welcome you back here Lakeside tonight at Chris Hunter Stadium. It's alumni weekend, also the homecoming court being introduced right now here at halftime. I do want to send a special shout out here tonight to Donald, who is listening, Donald Brown. here for the Darlington Tigers, and he is watching the game tonight from Cleveland, Tennessee. And I've been through Cleveland, Tennessee a bunch. I've only been there once that I can remember, but it was a memorable visit, Ian. And again, I want to say hello. We're glad to have you along with us. We've enjoyed getting to know Donnie over the years covering these games. He's a great guy, best in the business as terms of being a trainer, just a heck of a guy, and we really enjoy seeing him each and every week out here. So glad to know that you're with us tonight. But back to the quick story here, Cleveland, Tennessee, that is where Lee University is, home of the Flames. And when I was first getting into sports broadcasting, I was covering Barry baseball with my dad. And I'll never forget this because it had been kind of a long week, and I thought we were going to get a day off because we had a nice Lee University, and I was waiting on the call. I was going to have the day off, stay at home, watch television, that kind of thing. I think it was like a Sunday doubleheader or something like that. It might have been on a Saturday. And I got the call, all right, it's time to get in the car. We're going down to do some baseball. Well, we were outside. They did have a press box, but it was just a wooden frame of like 2x4s. It had no ceiling and had no walls. So we're sitting outside. It's about 20 degrees, and they have an inch-thick sheet of ice on the tarp before the game starts, and literally watch the baseball teams go out there with tools and break the ice up, pull the tarp, and play baseball at Lee University. And so anybody that listened to that broadcast, what they got to do that day was listening to my dad and my teeth chatter the entire day for two games. It was brutal. I'll never forget that.
We've had nights inside press boxes where our teeth have been chattering a little bit, so I can only imagine, man. Adventures in Broadcasting by Matt Davis with a foreword from Ian Griffin. That one day will be released, I promise.
Oh, no question about it. We'll have contributions from Jeff Gable, probably Clay from Pepperell, and all these different folks over the years. You definitely end up in some really interesting situations, and it always makes for a great story, even though sometimes in the moment it can kind of be a little bit challenging and uncomfortable.
Yeah,
that's
right.
The case was that day. But I think about it fondly now because obviously I was hanging out with my dad and calling baseball, and I was about to say having a good time. I think we did have a good time eating at Cracker Barrel on the way home once we finally thawed out. But my mom was with us that day too.
You have a good time remembering that experience, I'm sure.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Well, Ian, catch us up on the game, man. You are wonderful. You have a steel trap memory, so you can probably recap every play that's happened in the game. So fill us in.
Just put me on the spot just a little bit there, Matt. But it was the Tigers who received the opening kickoff after Temple won the toss and deferred to the second half. They promptly marched down the field on a 9-play drive that was capped off by a 3-yard Jaden Mazo touchdown. They overcame 2 penalties on that drive. One was an illegal shift, and then on that next play, Konchesky was able to find Mitchell Rotten on a crossing pattern for 35 yards, and then the few plays later, they got the touchdown, but they did have to overcome a chop block as well. So this team's used to facing adversity. They proved it on the first drive. Temple got their first possession and went down the field in 6 plays, capped that drive off with a 10-yard TD run by Tinch. And that's Isaiah Tinch, and that they were able to get the lead because Darlington missed their first extra point, so it was 7-6 Temple at that point. So Darlington gets the ball back and get a great return from Brooke Temple. He fielded a really short hop, got up the field, got it to the 50-yard line, and then 3 plays later, it was Nate Konchesky that got in on the sneak. There was a great run by Miles Twyman and a big catch by Trey Moore on that drive as well. So Tigers regain the lead, 13-7. On the next Temple possession, they go 5 plays down the field and get a 13-yard touchdown run again by Isaiah Tinch. They get the extra point. They're up 14-13. Now it's Miles Twyman time on the ensuing kickoff. Twyman fields it, puts on the afterburners, and gets a 90-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. Darlington back up. This time they're up 20-13. They're able to get a stop. The only stop they got in the first half. Got the ball back once again at their own 50. Or no, they were at the 35 that time. They go down the field 6 plays, and Miles Twyman caps it off with a 10-yard touchdown run. They're up 27-13. They've seized a 2-possession lead. Tigers are in control at this point, but Temple was able to grind out a 10-plus play drive. We didn't figure out exactly how many plays, but it was definitely over 10, and they finished it off with a 3-yard Nix touchdown run and then got a 2-point conversion to trim the lead to 5, and that's where we are, 27-22. Darlington leads at the half. Temple receives the opening kickoff in the second.
Well, folks, what we're going to do now is we're going to take a break. We'll come back here, and in our final segment for the halftime period, we'll break down scores from other area games. And right now we're getting a look here on the field as Miles Twyman is
the homecoming
receiving
king.
The crown as the
He's
homecoming king.
His sister. He's got two proud parents as he completes the legacy of the Twymans. Now they've got a daughter who was homecoming queen and a son who was homecoming king.
And he is definitely in the running, if not the front runner, for the Honeymoon Bakery Icing on the Cake Player of the Game. So there's that. He might cap the evening off with that, but we've got a lot to play. He's already scored a couple of touchdowns, and one was on a 90-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. Big night for Miles Twyman and the Twyman family. So anyway, Ian, we'll take a break. When we come back, we'll run down some scores from some other area games. We may even talk about a couple of college games that are being played tonight. Not necessarily, big sexy matchups or anything like that, but close games and certainly worth talking about, and maybe an update on the World Series as well.
Absolutely.
So, all right, we'll be back in 3 minutes.
CUSA Steel is a family-owned full-line steel service center located in Rome, Georgia. Since 1972, we've been working to make our customers more efficient by providing steel product supply and processing all in one place. We are proud to provide a large range of products, including hot-rolled and cold-finished steel, stainless steel, galvanized steel, aluminum, and alloys. Our capabilities enable us to assemble and process steel orders within days, shortening your lead time. CUSA Steel. Steel for your project.
At Rome Orthopedic Center, we salute students, freshmen and seniors, athletes and artists, first stringers and choral singers, band majors and game changers. We hope you never need orthopedic care, but if you do, choose the only practice in the Rome area solely dedicated to the orthopedic needs of the students and families in our community. Rome Orthopedic Center. To make an appointment, call 706-292-0040.
The deadline for 2026-2027 priority application and financial aid is February 15th. Schedule your private campus tour at www.darlingtonschool.org/visit or by emailing admission at darlingtonschool.org.
The deadline for 2026-2027 priority application and financial aid is February 15th. Schedule your private campus tour at www.darlingtonschool.org, visit, or by emailing admission at darlingtonschool.org.
Folks, we welcome you back live inside Chris Hunter Stadium. We're lakeside tonight, enjoying the Darlington Tigers and Temple Tigers, who have put on quite a performance, both teams tonight. Really entertaining football game right now. Darlington on top by 5 points, 27-22. And Ian, do we got some scores from some other area games? I know you've got your college stuff pulled up right now. But
I do. If you're an ACC person, Cal just tacked on a touchdown to go up 19-10 extra point pending there over Virginia Tech. So now we've got a lot of ACC fans in the area. Looking forward to that Georgia Tech coverage on WLAQ tomorrow at noon. The Dodgers are up 1-0 in the top of the third in Game 1 of the World Series. And I will pop back over here to our local coverage and see if there's anything that has changed. And all the scores, other than Calhoun, is now leading 35-0 over Heritage, which, we said that when we were previewing that game. It's Calhoun and everybody else in that region.
There's no doubt.
Just no question. Gordon Lee up big, 38-0 over CUSA.
What about Cedartown and Woodland? Have you seen a score
on
that?
It was 14-7 last I checked, and then that dropped out of my feed. Again, score stream can be a little undependable at times, but it's what we have to work with here. Cartersville up 44-0. I'll see if I can search Cedartown. It's showing me the Cartersville game last week, so that's all I've got right now.
Well, good deal. Both teams making their way out on the field. Well, Temple's out there warming up right now. You got it?
14-7 Woodland in the first quarter is the last update that I have on ScoreStream.
Okay, well, we'll certainly keep an eye on that. Do want to mention for folks that may be just tuning in, didn't catch the first part of what took place here tonight, 15 minutes prior to kickoff of the game, there's a special ceremony, and Tate Ratledge's number 50 jersey was retired here at Darlington. And, of course, Tate now is on the offensive line for the Detroit Lions. I think they're, 5-2 so far this season? Yeah. Doing a great job here so far in his first season in the NFL. And, of course, at Darlington, he was a force. He played on the offensive side of the ball, defense, special teams as the punter. He was selected to represent the East in the 2020 All-American Bowl, Sports Illustrated All-American First Team Offense in 2019, USA Today Preseason All-American First Team 2019, Atlanta Journal-Constitution All-State First Team Offense 2018 and 19. It was unanimous in 2019. And just the list goes on and on and on of the accolades that young man picked up as a Darlington Tiger. Then he went on to Georgia. He was an All-American there, has a couple of national championship rings, was drafted in the second round, and has made the most of every opportunity he's ever had. And he's just a great guy, so it was great to see him recognized before the game tonight, Ian.
Yeah, it was really cool. They played the Bucks on Monday night, and at that time Baker Mayfield's Buccaneers were 5-1. And that game was up at Ford Field in Detroit, and I left the room to go refill my water glass, and come back in, and I just see a shot of Tate and Jahmyr Gibbs sitting on the bench. They had just scored a touchdown on offense, and were sitting there smiling. And that's two products of Northwest Georgia right there, and they're both poised to have phenomenal careers. Obviously, Gibbs has already had a few years in the league. And he was an immediate impact guy, and Tate has been the same.
Heard the name Jahmyr Gibbs. Steve Conrad, who used to be the play-by-play voice of the Darlington Tigers. One year we went up to the spring game that was at Dalton that year, and of course Jahmyr had a big game. I forget how many touchdowns he scored. They weren't keeping score, but it was probably about 5. And I'd never heard his name before, and then it was a day or so later that I realized he was going to be a Georgia Tech Yellow Jacket, played there for a year, went to Alabama, got to the NFL, and nobody would ever have thought at that particular moment with those two guys on the field in that high school game, to your point, Ian, that you would now fast forward to this year, and they are teammates. It's pretty unbelievable. Yeah. But you knew that both of them at that point in time were going to be NFL caliber guys. There's no question about that. But
yeah. I mean, you watch the tape played by Northwest Georgia, the little highlight reel, and Tate was just a giant. I mean, and Darlington had some other big guys, but he just dwarfs just about everybody's around, unless he's around other starting linemen at the Division I level or NFL level. But you still have to have the athleticism and the work ethic to make it to the highest level. And you hear Tommy Atha, his voice coming across the PA speakers. He talked about Tate's character and coachability. And, just an awesome player and a Darlington legend, and he got that credit tonight as his number will be retired. Hey, Ty Wood can be the guy that said, I was the last one to wear 50.
Yeah.
So what an honor, man.
And to your point on that, I've definitely got a quote here from the Coach Atha video that you just referenced, and I'll read this. Again, this is Coach Atha's words from the video that they played in the ceremony before the beginning of the game, and he said, end quote, Tate wasn't just an incredible athlete. He was one of the most coachable players I've ever had. He pushed himself every day to get better and made everyone around him better too. And then he went on to say, Tate, I'm so proud of you. I love you and your family, and I can't wait to see you soon. That's how we wrapped it up. So that was really a special moment to have that played. And I can only imagine we weren't close enough to the field to see the emotion that would have been, on his face and his family's and whatnot. But I bet it was a really special moment there.
Yeah. Oh, you could feel it from up here and see it. Yeah. How appreciative he was of the honor he received tonight. And it's homecoming. You throw an NFL starting tackle who's coming back to have his number retired. There's a lot of juice in Chris Hunter Stadium, and we've seen that energy translate over to the field for the Darlington Tigers tonight. They are in a fight, though. Let's not just forget that and think this game is over. They're up by 5. Temple has been punching back, so the Tigers are going to have to stay focused and keep fighting if they want to get the win.
And, Ian, I've often heard it said that, teams take on the personality of their coaches that lead the team. And I think that is the case with both of these teams. Both Coach Groves and Coach Nix are from the old school. They're hard-nosed coaches. They have taught these kids to get out there, scratch, claw, fight for everything they get. And that's exactly what we've seen them do throughout the game. Sure.
Temple will attempt to get a 2-for-1. They scored on their last possession of the first half and received the opening kickoff. Down 5, 27-22. Darlington leads Temple.
All right, folks, there is the opening kickoff of the second half. It will be fielded and brought out by Temple, and they cut out towards the right side. He stays up, shakes off a couple of guys, and he gets it to about the 44-yard line before they're able to haul him in and get him down to the grass.
Yeah, good return that time. It was a high kick. And the return man, I'll get his number. I think that was Tench. It was.
Yeah.
He got that about his own 18-yard line, followed his blockers, weaved his way through Darlington defenders, and indeed got that ball out right with the nose on the 44. But there's a flag on the play, Matt. Holding on Temple. So that one will come back from the spot of the foul, which was the 31, and they are marching it off. That ball should go all the way back to the 21-yard line, so that's a huge swing, a 23-yard swing. Ball was going to be at the 44, but the hold occurred behind the end of the play there, and Temple will start this drive at their own 21, not their own 44.
Well, let's see if the Tigers defense here can have a good series and force a 3-and-out here to start the second half and set the tone that way.
Matthias Selly leading the bleacher creatures in a cheer.
There's the snap, going to hand it off, run it towards the near side of the line of scrimmage, gets it out to the 25, so a good pickup there on first down for Temple.
Let's see who got the carry there. It was Tench.
It was Tench again.
Yeah. Stuart Grigsby in there on the tackle.
So that'll be a pickup of 5 yards, setting up a 2nd and 5. As Temple comes back to the line of scrimmage. Their quarterback rolls up under center, and he will take the snap, hands it off, and that is going to be a big run by a big guy. That was Hudson Nix with the carry, gets it out across the 35, taking the handoff for number 18, Preston Griffin.
What do you want to do with a big... They got a bigger fella lining up at fullback. It's been fun to watch Junior Presley get out there, put his hand in the ground and go be the lead blocker for a guy as big as Hudson Nix. Temple's got size everywhere.
And so they get it down to the 37-yard line, get a fresh set of downs. There after that big run on first down. That'll be an I formation. There's the snap, going to hand it off, give it to the tailback, and this time the defense will hold him to a short gain of about 2 yards.
It was a good stop on first down. And do we have a different quarterback in?
Yeah, it's number 18, Preston Griffin.
Yeah. And that occurred after the injury. Jackson. I don't think we've seen him since.
And so a wide receiver to the far side as Griffin gets ready to take the snap. And there it is. He's going to hand it off, run it, and that will go right up the middle for about 3 or 4 yards.
It'll be about 3rd down and 6 here, or a long 5, if you will.
I think that was Tench again. Nope, it was number 0, Nehemiah Dorsey. rather.
Big opportunity here for the Tigers, the Darlington Tigers. Man, that's hard when you've got
it is. It
two
really
of the same
is,
mascots.
So that brings up 3rd down and 5. There's the snap, going to hand it off, run it towards the right side, finds a seam, and he is on the run. He is going to be dragged down at about the 10-yard line. Saves the touchdown, but they're going to be in the red zone. That was Jace Donaldson who tracked him down and brought him to the turf.
They ran the trap play there. Tench made one cut, found a seam, and if it wasn't for the tremendous speed of Jace Donaldson, he would have been in the end zone.
And so the ball is just shy of that's right at the 10-yard line, so that brings up 1st and goal.
Yep, the chains are off the field, so 1st and goal from the 10 for Temple.
Quarterback under center, that's Griffin. He's going to hand it off to Nix. Nix tries to bounce to the right side, and he gets bounced to the turf. Good stop by the defense.
Excellent defense there. A host of Tigers led by J.B. Ragland, Stuart Grigsby. Let's see if I can call everybody's number that was in on that one. Grady Ferguson, Cooper Norris.
That's what you call gang tackling.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right there. And so no gain brings up 2nd down and goal from the 10. As the Temple Tigers will go back to the drawing board with a wide receiver split to the near side. And the quarterback under center. He takes the snap, turns, is going to hand it off, and tries to scoot through the line of scrimmage, bounces off a tackle and gets to the right side. And good pursuit by the defense to stay with it. He got a few yards, but
unbelievable escapability there from Tench as he takes the carry there. And he was headed to the left side, cut it back. Looked like he was stopped, but he just bounced off the defenders. And J.B. Ragland did a good job to stay with the tackle there and force this 3rd and goal.
And so it's going to be 3rd and goal from about the 8-yard line as Temple rolls back to the line of scrimmage with a wide receiver on the far side. Griffin takes the snap. He rolls out looking to pass. No, he's going to tuck the football and run it right into the end zone from 8 yards out. And they will take the lead just like that.
And, Preston Griffin stepping in here and just making rolled out that time. Everybody was covered in the end zone, and he didn't waste any time making the decision to tuck and run. And Temple will take the lead back. And it'll be interesting here to see if they go for 2. They went for 2 after that last touchdown because there was a penalty and it moved the ball that much closer to the goal line. I think they will because it'll make it a 3-point game. The analytics say go in this situation, and I think that's exactly what they're going to do.
So right now, Temple up 28-27. Going to go for 2 here, as Ian pointed out, to make it a field goal game. Quarterback takes the snap. Griffin, he's going to hand it off, and Nix is in and converts his second 2-point conversion of the game.
And right now, the Darlington Tigers just need to take a deep breath, keep their composure. Temple took advantage of the 2-for-1 opportunity, scoring before the half and getting that extra possession, and that's allowed them to overcome a 2-possession deficit. They've gotten 2 2-point conversions and now lead by 3 with 7:39 remaining in the ball game. You see Coach Chapman's out there coaching them up because that time Nix had a clear path to the end zone. There was no resistance. So there could have been a missed assignment there. And Darlington will make those adjustments. It's great. If you look down the line, you've got Coach Groves talking technique with J.B. Ragland, and then you've got Coach Chapman over there coaching up Matt. That situation.
Well, we want to welcome Steve Conrad onto the live stream tonight. He was at a fundraiser tonight, but now he is
needed you
in
early.
His seat, ready to watch the Tigers play tonight.
We had some end-of-the-half confusion, Steve, and we're calling for your help.
I presume he's got the executive producer with him, Gina, and also Walter the Wonder Beagle.
All right.
Probably by his side, I'm guessing. Sounds like a good Friday night to me.
Well, welcome to the broadcast. It's been a barn burner.
And here comes the kick from Temple. It's going to be end over end, drops in, picked up by Miles Twyman. He's already run one back for a touchdown. Let's see if he can do it again. He stays up across the 30, gets across to about the 36. So a good return there on a great night for him. He's got 2 touchdowns. He's already picked up the crown for the homecoming king.
He sure is. Good return by Twyman. And this Darlington offense, the only thing that stopped them was the clock. You know, they got a possession late with only 32 seconds left and still had a chance to attempt a field goal at the end of the half. So they've been clicking on all cylinders.
Trey Moore is split wide to the left side of the formation. Tigers are working from left to right, trailing by 3, 30-27, going to hand it off to Miles, and there is a pile of humanity at the line of scrimmage. Not much there, Ian.
The bright spot there, though, is everybody collapsed on Miles. And if they continue to do that, if Konchesky pulls that and pitches to Donaldson, he's eating a sandwich on his way to the end zone. So while that play didn't gain a lot of yards, or actually looks like they backed it up if I'm looking at the spot.
I think he got a yard, didn't he? Yeah, 38? Yeah, 38. He got a yard. A tough yard at that.
Right. But we haven't seen the pitch tonight. It's coming at some point, and they're setting it up well because Temple's really the edge is crashing down on that dive just about every time.
So everybody's in tight, and we got a flag that came in right before
delay a game. Oh, that's painful. Those will eat you up right there. Just one of those times where you get caught sleeping. So behind the chains now, the Tigers will need to make a play to put themselves in third and manageable, or they can go ahead and pick it all up in one fell swoop. You wouldn't mind that, would you, Matt?
Oh, not at all. And so the Tigers will line up here for 2nd and 14, 6:42 left here in the third quarter, trailing by 3 points. Here's the snap. There's the toss sweep. They get it to Jace Donaldson, runs out to the edge on the left side, gets the first down, and is hauled out of bounds just beyond the 50-yard line at about the 47.
Ask and ye shall receive. Rocket toss to Jace Donaldson. He's been hampered by a foot injury, but he looks like he's at least 85%. You know, and that's pretty darn fast.
I was about to say, Jace Donaldson at even 80% is going to be faster than most guys on the field any night. So
the Darlington Tigers overcome the delay of game penalty and pick up the first down on 2nd and 14 with a rocket toss to Jace Donaldson. First down at the Temple 48.
Tigers on the ball now. Konchesky ready to take the snap with everybody in tight, but we are going to have a timeout here.
Yeah, Coach Groves saw something he did not like, and they will regroup.
All right, we'll do the same. Right now it's 6:32 left to go third quarter. Temple 30, Darlington 27. We're back in 30 seconds.
Shop for your next car, truck, or SUV at Riverside Auto Group. Check out riversideautogroup.com today to browse their selection or visit with them in person at Riverside Chevrolet GMC in Rome, Riverside Toyota in Rome, and the all-new Riverside GMC Cadillac in Cartersville. Locally owned and operated by the Welburn family since 1974. That's Riverside Auto Group. Visit riversideautogroup.com.
Darlington Tigers will come back to the line of scrimmage right now. And they have first. Konchesky ready to take the snap. He's going to have Trey Moore here on the near side. There's the snap, going to fake the handoff. Now he's looking to throw. He's got company. He's going to get it to Miles Twyman, who stays up, cuts to the inside, and gets tripped up at about the 24-yard line. Another big play for Miles and Darlington's offense.
And they go play action. They fake the rocket toss to Donaldson. Konchesky bootlegs out to his left. He's looking downfield. It's not there, but the whole time Twyman was coming on that crossing route, and he was wide open, easy check down, and Twyman makes guys miss like he always does, gets the tough yards, and another first down for Darlington.
24-yard play there, I believe, for the Tigers. I added that right. Don't count on it. Konjeski under center, ready to take the snap with everybody in tight. 1st and 10. There's a quick toss. Gets it over to Donaldson. Gets to the edge, and he is going to scoot into the end zone from 24 yards out to pay dirt, and the Tigers have regained the lead. How many lead changes have we seen in this game?
You're going to have to give me a break to count all those up, but I'll have them for you when I go back through my notes. But a four-play drive there, started back at their own 37, so that's a 63-yard drive, and it's capped off by a Jace Donaldson touchdown run.
24 yards to pay dirt. The baby powder's in the air, and the kick is up, and I believe that is going to be good. Sneaks over, and so the score moves to 34 to 30 rather.
That's right. And right now Darlington has that distinct advantage. But one thing to note, Darlington is down 2 kickers tonight. No Ade Desalu, no Matias Selly. So those kicking duties have fallen to Georgie Lovelace, who has done pretty well. He's knocked through 4 of his 5 PAT attempts. He did have a field goal blocked at the end of the first half, but they're asking a lot of that young man stepping in under these bright lights at homecoming here at Chris Hunter Stadium, and he has really answered the bell for the most part.
Oh, absolutely. We are glad you were with us. I do want to mention that earlier tonight, Ian, and I'm sure you'll get to catch up with him after the game, but he was already on the air by the time you got in the booth with us. But Logan Maddox is here tonight with Hometown Sports Media, and, of course, he used to be the voice of the Rome Braves. I guess they were the Braves at that point. Gavin's been the voice since they've been the Emperors. And but anyway, it was nice to catch up with him. He's calling the game for Temple tonight on their platform.
Excellent. Great broadcaster. Even better guy.
Absolutely.
And an Auburn fan.
And is really just doing a fantastic job. It's great to catch up with him. And that is going to be a short kick. Goes out of bounds. About the 23-yard line. Flag comes in, obviously, so Temple's going to get the ball at the 35.
Yes, they are. And it's just get a stop. Find a way to get a stop. And if you can get Temple into 3rd down, you're gonna have an opportunity to do that. But that's been tough sledding too. Temple has been excellent. Only 1 3rd down conversion that they did not convert. So that was on a bad snap in the 2nd quarter.
We'll have the Honeymoon Bakery Icing on the Cake Player of the Game Award at the end of tonight's action. That'll be followed by the Rome Orthopedic Center High School Football Scoreboard Show with Lynn and Austin. And that'll be a lot of fun, so we certainly encourage people to call in and chat with those guys and fill them in on things that happen around the area.
A lot of big games going on.
And things are going to be shaken out coming up next week. It's the last week of the regular season. Some teams finish today. I know Cedartown, their last game of the year is today. There's the snap, going to hand it off, and he'll be brought down for a short game.
My goodness.
And I should also mention that Clay is at the studio already.
Well, I've got to mention Maddox Rotten on this play right here because he cleaned the clock along with Wyatt Wood. That was a gang tackle from those two. Beautiful execution there. The counter play, they read it well, and they put him in 2nd and long.
So 2nd down and 8 here for the Temple Tigers as they run back to the line of scrimmage. Quarterback is under center. Preston Griffin is the quarterback. Their starter tonight was Jackson Griffin. Went down with an injury at one point in the game, and as Ian pointed out, we hadn't seen him since. They got a wide receiver on the.
So they took the timeout.
All right, well, we might as well take one as well. 5:04 left to go in the 3rd quarter. Temple 30, or actually Darlington 34, Temple 30, a 4-point lead for the Darlington Tigers. We're back 30 seconds.
At Rome Orthopedic Center, we salute students, freshmen and seniors, athletes and artists, first stringers and choral singers, band majors and game changers. We hope you never need orthopedic care, but if you do, choose the only practice in the Rome area solely dedicated to the orthopedic needs of the students and families in our community. Rome Orthopedic Center. To make an appointment, call 706-292-0040.
Temple Tigers will come back to the line of scrimmage after the timeout with 2nd down and 8. The ball is at the 37-yard line. They work their way back to the line of scrimmage, and they get ready for their quarterback, Griffin, to take the snap from under center. He's going to hand it off, gets it to Nix. He dives forward at the end of the play, and he picked up about 6 yards on that play.
Yeah, that was a trap play to Nix. We haven't seen him take that yet.
And so that sets up 3rd and short, Ian.
Yeah, he's dealing out punishment when he runs the football, man. He is such a physical specimen. And really, they've got, not counting the tight ends, they've got 7 offensive linemen out there on every play.
They do. High formation, there's the snap. Going to hand it to Nix again. He got the 1st down, and then a couple of yards after that.
Man, number 51, I know I've mentioned this a few times, Junior Presley. Big boy. He's listed as a lineman on both sides of the ball, but he has been exclusively at fullback all night. And when they're handing it off to Nix and he's following him into the hole, you got about 550 pounds of humanity driving through the line of scrimmage. That's hard to stop.
Just hammering it on in there. And so now Temple will come back to the line of scrimmage at the 48-yard line. 1st down and 10 after that big run from Nix. And they get ready to take the snap under center. There it is. He's going to hand it off. They run it towards the right side, scoots through the line of scrimmage, stays up, and gets about 12 or 13 yards. It was quick.
I tell you what, Matt, this feels like a game with whoever has the ball last wins. I mean, it is. These offenses have got their groove on tonight, scoring points at will. And it's not for lack of effort on the defensive side. The execution's just been excellent by both teams on offense.
And that was Tench who got it down to the 40-yard line and got them a fresh set of downs. Going to send a wide receiver to the near side on 1st and 10 from the Darlington 40. Temple with the ball trailing by 4 points, 34-30. There's the snap. Going to hand it off, go up the middle with that play and pick up maybe 3 yards.
3 yards, that's a win tonight.
Yeah, it truly is.
So we've seen them stop them behind the line maybe once, but usually it's a 3-yard minimum.
Was that Nix again on that play?
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. Pounding the big fella. You're getting a little thunder and lightning. We have not seen Jaden McDaniel since he went down with that injury. He has been spelled by Nehemiah Dorsey, and then it's been a lot of Isaiah Tench.
One wide receiver to the near side as we get ready for Griffin to take the snap. He's got the ball. He's going to hand it. Oh, ball's loose, and the Tigers have recovered the football. My goodness, what a turn of events.
And, you talked about ball security, Matt, and we've seen a few hit the turf for Temple in this game, but they've had some bad exchanges. They've been able to get back on top of them. That time, the handoff is a bad exchange between Dorsey and Griffin. Ball sitting pretty, and it's Stuart Grigsby that gets on top of it, pouncing on it from his safety position. And that is a big-time turnover. What a swing. Darlington has a chance to take this ball down and push it to a 2-possession lead.
Well, one of the keys to the game, every week we ask Coach Groves that question at the end of the game, and it's a matter of which position he puts it in, but winning that turnover battle is going to be in there every week, and just how critical that is in terms of the outcome of a game. That could be huge. Here is the snap to Konchesky. Quick toss going to Bo Powers, and they catch him in the backfield, and that's a good thing for Temple because he can break a big one.
Yeah, he can, and it's a loss, too. Puts them behind the chains. So, this is an opportunity, but you have to take advantage, get those points off those turnovers to make it count, and that was just great pursuit out there. And I'm trying to catch. It was Dorsey that was in on it, and number 50.
So it'll be a loss of about 4 or 5. Brings up 2nd down and 14 with 2 minutes and some change left on the clock in the third quarter, with Darlington leading at 34-30. So they're behind the sticks there after that loss. Got to send Trey Moore wide to the far side, so you certainly want to keep an eye on that. And here is the snap to Konchesky, looking that way, pump fakes. He's got company in the backfield, just kind of has to dump it. That's going to be incomplete, and they're going to flag.
Yeah. It's grounded, definitely. Konchesky was fighting for his life there. The pressure came immediately. He made one guy miss. The next guy was going to get him, and he dumped it, but there was not a receiver within 5 yards of that one. So that's an easy call for the officials. Tough break for Darlington. Konchesky was just trying to make a play.
And penalties have not been a huge problem for Darlington this game. They had a chop block earlier in the game, and now the intentional grounding. But overall,
that's a costly penalty because it's a spot foul and a loss of down. But I mean, that's a hustle play. He's just trying to make a play and get out of a bad situation. If he doesn't dump that ball off, he gets sacked.
So third and a long mile here for the Darlington Tigers. They're going to line up with everybody in tight here for this formation as Konchesky is ready to take the snap. He drops back, looking to throw, puts the ball in the air, connects with Jace Donaldson, who can get a lot back for you here. And he scoots out of bounds just beyond the 30. A flag came in at the end of the play, though.
Not sure what that could be unless they're calling a hold away from the ball. It was thrown by the back judge there late in the play. Donaldson was already slowing down to walk out of bounds. So you would think that's a hold on Darlington away from the ball, but we will see.
Yep.
And it is. So now Temple has a decision to make because they're well short of the first down. Do you give them do you back them up? Because that's going to be a spot foul. So I think they would decline this and let Darlington kick from the end of the play. Yeah, that's what we're going to see. But Darlington picked, those were valuable yards because now you want to swing the field position. Trey Moore better every week, I think. And he wants to catch a good one here, put some hang time on it, see if you can prevent a good return.
Is this the first punt of the game for Darlington?
It sure is.
Here is the kick.
Good boot.
Pretty good long kick there. Drops in at about the 40, and it is going to be downed by one of the Tigers at about the 40.
I don't see who got on to that one. That was Brooke Temple, yes. And a good thing he was there because it had backspin on it, and he prevented that from maybe shooting another 5 or 6 yards in Temple's direction. So good play there. Good hang time on the punt, prevented the return. Now take advantage of the turnover. Temple made some good plays on defense. You really just have to tip your cap, and it was Corday Patterson that was the disruptor there. He got a tackle for loss, and he was the guy who was bearing down on Nate Konchesky, forcing him into that intentional grounding.
And so they will go under center, hand the ball off. Griffin gets it to a guy with a head full of steam and picks up about 8 or 9 yards. Nix. Man, that
heavy
was
dose of Nix. Now he looks a little winded here late in the game. Plenty of burst there, but they have been riding that pony all night long, and he was limping back. I think they're going to give him a breather.
He got 9 yards there on that play. They're going to send a wide receiver to the near side. Takes the snap on second and one rather, and they are going to get the yard and then maybe another after that.
They sure are.
Was that Tinch?
I think so. I'm waiting to see the replay here. Indeed it was. Isaiah Tinch. He's had himself a heck of a ball game. Again, that's the thunder and lightning package you're dealing here with Hudson Nix and Isaiah Tinch. And, Jaden McDaniel's on the sideline. You get that three-headed monster in there, and this Temple offense is really dangerous. Shocking, they only scored 6 points in their last 3 games.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Quarterback is under center, taking the snap. Griffin, he is rolling out to his right. He's going to tuck the football, run it up the sidelines, and he has got some room to go. He is out at about the 30 before they bring him down just inside the 30, maybe the 28.
My goodness. I did not know that Preston Griffin had that kind of burst. We had Jackson Griffin in before that. Griffin showed his wheels on a short touchdown run, but he really, when he decided to go, he turned on the jets.
So he gets it all the way to the 27-yard line.
Yeah. Great vision. And that might be it for the third quarter. We're headed for a thriller, it looks like.
Oh, absolutely, and you're right. That is going to end the third quarter of the football game with the Darlington Tigers clinging to a 34-30 lead over the Temple Tigers. We're going to send it back to the studio for 1 minute. We'll come back for the final 12 minutes after a 1-minute break.
CUSA Steel is a family-owned full-line steel service center located in Rome, Georgia. Since 1972, we've been working to make our customers more efficient by providing steel product supply and processing all in one place. We are proud to provide a large range of products, including hot rolled and cold finished steel, stainless steel, galvanized steel, aluminum, and alloys. Our capabilities enable us to assemble and process steel orders within days, shortening your lead time. CUSA Steel. Steel for your project.
Folks, we get ready to start the final quarter with Darlington leading at 34-30. However, Temple has possession of the football, and they've got it inside the Darlington, at the 28-yard line, inside Darlington territory with first down. Here is the snap. Griffin is going to hand it off, goes back to Nix, and he stays up, carries a couple of guys, and picks up about 9 yards, maybe 10. We'll see.
Yeah, he's close. I think he's just short.
So he gets it down to the 18-yard line in the red zone, setting up a 2nd down and 1, and it's a short one. And I'm with you, Ian. I don't see how he's got anything left in the tank, but he does. He's got an endless tank, it looks like.
He looked a little winded for a minute, but he's caught his breath and is back out there taking the rock.
I formation, there's the snap. They give it right back to Nix. He scoots through the line, stays up, breaks a couple of tackles, and carries the pile inside the 5 to the 4.
Oh, goodness. Just feeding the beast. Sometimes, you know, you get those legs churning and the back will just wear you down over 4 quarters. And Nix, I mean, you got to take his legs out from under him. That's the only way to get him to the turf.
They go right back to Nix. He stays up. There's some traffic. Did he get in? He came close, and we don't have the signal just yet. He stopped just a little bit short.
They're going to rule him down inside the 1. I imagine you're going to see another handoff to Nix.
I would imagine so as well.
I imagine he will follow the big man, Junior Presley, as well. Basically just saying, you know what's coming, can you stop it?
All right, they will line up. Quarterback under center. Griffin going to take the snap, gives it right back to Nix, and he leaps into the end zone to put on another 6 here for the Temple Tigers, and they take the lead back. I'm not going to ask you how many lead changes, Ian.
You're not?
No.
It's been a bunch.
A bunch.
It's been a bunch.
We'll just put it like that.
That's right. We knew what was coming there. And Darlington's just going to have to answer. And again, I really feel like this is going to come down to who has the ball last or the time expiring on somebody. This is just a back and forth ball game from the start.
And here is the extra point attempt, and it is going to be right down Broadway through the uprights. And Temple takes a 37-34 lead, so up by a field goal here with 10:25 left to go in the football game in regulation.
Yeah, we could.
It could be that kind of night.
I mean, it could be free football.
I've seen it once. Yeah. It's year before, 4 overtime thriller in favor of Darlington over Ridgeland.
We sure have.
Man, this has been a wild game. Well, let's see if the Darlington Tigers can answer back, and we got another train going by in the distance here.
That's
man.
train 4 by my count. I don't have lead changes yet. I'm working on it, so you know, let's hear a word from Buc-ee's, all right, one of our unofficial sponsors, and I'll have
a couple of weeks since I've been there. Maybe I need to fix that coming up tomorrow and get some snacks. Of course, I think I'll just keep it at the house and go to the Honeymoon Bakery and get my snacks there.
All right.
Some of the higher quality stuff.
8 lead changes in
8
this
lead
ball.
changes.
8
Unbelievable.
lead changes. Yeah.
Thank you, Zeke Palermo. I mentioned to him that we're going to get him to come on the radio with us once the regular season is over and talk about playoffs.
Absolutely.
So he just handed me his card. We'll line that up. Sports editor of the Rome News-Tribune. Here comes the kick there from Temple. And that'll fly right into the hands of a dangerous man. That is going to be Jace Donaldson with the football, getting a good block. He stays up, is across the 40, and he's hauled out of bounds.
I get a flag.
Some pushing and shoving on the sidelines after the play. I'm surprised we didn't see some laundry after that.
Yeah.
I mean, we had a pretty good view of it.
We did. I kind of like the no call there because as they were going out of bounds, Jace was extending the stiff arm. Temple player kind of pushed back, but, they usually see the last one. But I would have taken the 15 yards. How about you?
Absolutely.
Jace was looking for a crease, man. You could see it. Right there, he's just in idle. He hadn't turned on the speed yet. He was waiting to shoot through a gap. He just never got one, but great field position nonetheless, except we had a hold.
Oh, my goodness. And so there is a penalty flag, but it's against the Darlington Tigers on a hold.
Indeed. And it's good to know that I'm right. Train 4, it's up on the Jumbotron. My count is correct, ladies and gentlemen.
So basically what you're saying is we feel pretty
certain on that. I have documentation.
So supporting documentation.
Yes,
here.
I do. Rick Lundy taught me well.
Nothing but the facts. Nothing but the facts on this broadcast. All right, so the Tigers now at the line of scrimmage, which is going to be at the 30-yard line on their side of the field, trailing by 3, 37-34. There's the snap, going to hand the football off to Miles, and he got about 4 or 5.
Yeah, and you've just got to run your offense, but the clock is certainly something to watch here. Both teams have 2 timeouts left, and again, I just you want to secure that lead, run your offense. And hopefully your defense can go get a stop if you can go down and get 7.
Tigers back at the line of scrimmage. They're going to line up out of base formation with everybody in tight. Nate Konchesky taking all the snaps at quarterback here tonight for the Tigers so far, and he will take this one. He turns, is going to fake the handoff there as the pitch. They get it to the near side and into the hands of Jace Donaldson, who's streaking down the sidelines and goes out of bounds at about the 40.
Boy, howdy, that was all Jace Donaldson. Konchesky makes the pitch, and Jace has got guys all over him. I thought that play might get blown up in the backfield as he pulls and pitches here. Got a guy, 22, bearing down on him, makes him miss, and then cuts inside. Great block from Bo Powers there to spring him, and then he tight ropes the sidelines and gets down to the 42-yard line on that run. Let's give Mr. Powers his credit. He got the Honeymoon Bakery icing on the cake player of the game for his yardage last week, but he's a heck of a blocker.
Quarterback under center here, 1st and 10. Ball at the 42-yard line after a big pickup from Jace. Konchesky ready to take the snap. He turns, is going to hand it off, goes to Bo Powers. You block, you get the rock. He does, and he picks up about 10, 11 yards.
Excellent play there from Bo Powers. Interesting little play action almost there. The delayed handoff, kind of a trap play, and Powers gets some yak on that one, man. He was dragging defenders forward for the first down. Tigers just want to stay ahead of the chains, put themselves in positions for the go-ahead score here.
Ball at the 31-yard line as the Tigers get ready to take the snap. Konchesky looks at his wristband. Final preparation before he goes under center. And here's the snap. He takes it, ball's loose on the turf. Who's going to get it? Hopefully it's the Darlington Tigers, but it's not. It's the Temple Tigers. First turnover of the game from the Darlington Tigers.
Yeah, but I didn't see what knocked it loose there. I couldn't tell if it was just a bad exchange. We'll see what we can find out here on the replay. Konchesky takes the snap, fakes the dive, goes for the pull, and the ball just comes out. Konchesky couldn't get back on top of it, and now the defense has to get a stop.
Tigers driving into Temple territory, turn the ball over, and now Temple's going to have it at their own 32-yard line here, leading at 37-34. Big turn of events here late in the game.
And the turnover margin is now equal, but that's a big one because Temple has the lead.
And a lot of momentum on offense. There's the snap. Quarterback's going to hand it off, and the run is going to be stopped with a short gain.
Yeah, good stop there. Got to keep him behind the chain, see if you can force him into a passing situation. Though I will say this, when Preston Griffin has dropped back, he has been good throwing the ball and been very decisive in pulling and making plays with his legs. But Darlington needs to find a way to limit this play and put him in a passing situation if they can.
Tench with no gain there on the play. Quarterback Griffin under center takes the snap. He's going to hand it to Tench. He cuts it towards the near side this time, opposite way of where he went on the last play, and this time there's a little more room. He picked up
5
several yards.
Yeah.
6?
Yeah, almost 6. Upended there, but his momentum carried him an extra 2.5 yards.
Yes, it did.
Yeah.
Got it out to the 38-yard line.
All right, this is a big one. Train number 5 rolling through.
Golly, busy night.
Yeah, absolutely.
I formation. Griffin under center takes the snap. He gives it to Nix. He stays up, and he's going to be awfully close to the first down. I think he got it. Yeah, he did. Moving the chains.
Goodness. Golly, man. I mean, you hand it off to that guy, and on first contact, he's knocking people backwards, just bruising running back. I don't think Darlington's faced that kind of back this season. They faced some really good backs, but I mean, this guy is a Mike Allstott type. He's athletic. He'll lower the shoulder and knock defenders backwards and just keeps driving those legs, picking up yards.
It's going to bring up 1st and 10, ball at the 45. Temple on their side of the field. There's the snap. They're going to go back to the bruiser. He gets upended, flipped around, and picked up about a yard.
Set it on out. You got to take his legs out from under, and Ty Wood did just that. Exploding through, going low. I believe that was Ty. Yes, sir, it was.
So that brings up 2nd down after a short gain of 2 from the 47-yard line. Temple's still on their side of the field. They lead it by 3, 37-34. We got 6.5 minutes and the clock rolling here in the 4th quarter of the football game. One wide receiver on the far side. There's the snap. They're going to run it up the middle. There is a seam. He's streaking down the field. Can they catch him is the question. Temple does, saves the touchdown at about the 4, but they got 1st and goal inside the 5, Ian.
Yeah, Brooke Temple using that track speed to pull Nehemiah Dorsey down. Just a dive play there, and he got a seam and tried to outrun the defense. Temple coming from the far side. I mean, that's elite speed there from Brooke Temple, because Dorsey had a good 5 yards on him, and he was able to close and save the touchdown. And you just got to keep fighting. See if you can force a turnover here. Find a way. Maybe force a penalty. Get them backed up. Just got to keep them out of the end zone if possible.
Everybody in tight eye formation. There's the snap. Going to give it to Nick. See if they can punch him in. He's awfully close, and he is in from 4 yards out. Nix is able to muscle through the line, help with some good blocking up front, and scores again.
Okay, so here's the scenario. Temple, for the first time tonight, has got a 2-possession lead. We'll see. They're going to kick this one, try to go up by 10. But Darlington has 2 timeouts and will try to score and then potentially get an onside kick to see if they can steal a possession and come back and win this game.
Muratore on for the kick, and that one looks to be through. And so Temple now leads at 44-34, 10-point lead.
And Darlington has fought like heck tonight. That turnover, that's what it comes down to in a game like this. Back and forth. Both offenses moving the ball all over the field. The fumble on the other. But that'll end up being the difference of the game, because Temple was in that situation and Darlington had a chance to go back up by 2 possessions. Couldn't turn that turnover into points. Temple did. Now they're up 2 possessions, 10-point lead. But this game is not over. Darlington has the time, they have the timeouts, they have the ability to go down and score, and then you try the onside kick and see if you can get another possession. We've seen that happen before right here in this very stadium.
We definitely have, and this is, as you pointed out, the largest lead of the night for Temple. They're up by 10. Darlington did have a 13-point lead in the game. That was with about 4.5 minutes left when they got that score to go up by 13 with 4.5 minutes left of the first half of the football game. So the biggest lead for Darlington so far has been 13, and now Temple, their biggest lead is 10. But right now Temple does have a 10-point lead, and they kick it back to your Darlington Tigers. They pick it up, and Jace Donaldson's got it on the far side. He's going to cut it back towards this side of the field, stays up, shakes off a guy with a spin move, gets out to the 28.
Cutting it all the way back across the field. That was successful last time, and they got a hold that backed him up. This time Donaldson uses the same recipe, but some really good sideline-to-sideline pursuit from the Temple special teams, and they're able to wrangle him in right around the Darlington 28-yard line. That is where the nose of the football will sit as the Tigers offense comes out to start this possession.
All right, 5:40 left to go here in the football game. Temple 44, Darlington 34. Darlington Tigers at the line of scrimmage with a wide receiver to the far side. There's the snap, going to throw it that way into the flat. Picking it up is going to be Jace. He stays up, shakes off a guy, and scoots out of bounds at about the 47. So they're almost at midfield after one play.
Get your playmakers the ball in space. Single coverage on Jace Donaldson. Get it out there to him, let him make a move. You have a Temple player who's down, and they dragged him off the field. As to not, I don't know if I've seen that before. They just grabbed him by the shoulder pads and dragged him off to avoid maybe a timeout being assessed, but Darlington on the ball in the hurry-up.
So this is 1st and 10, ball at the 45. Konchesky under center. He will take the snap, turns, is going to hand it off. They go up the middle, and that's Bo Powers who gets it out about 5 yards to midfield.
I tell you what, Darlington's going the last play, you want to leave as much time as you can on the clock if you get a score, and if you can save those 2 timeouts just in case you don't get the onside, that would still give you an opportunity to get a stop on defense and get the ball back.
So the Tigers now in 2nd and 5 with the ball right at midfield, working their way into Temple territory. Konchesky is under center. He will take the snap, turns, quick toss, going to get it to Miles Twyman, cuts towards the near side, trying to get to the edge. He does, and scoots out of bounds at the 35.
That's a senior play right there. 2 seniors making senior plays on this drive. Jace Donaldson making somebody miss, getting up the field, getting out of bounds. Miles Twyman there on the toss play doing the exact same thing. He got the extra yards, but he made the right decision by bopping it out of bounds.
Face mask.
And we're going to get a face mask tacked on. So they will march off the extra yards.
Start the march at the 37, it looked like.
Yeah, 15 yards. And Darlington will be right at the precipice of the red zone with 4:47. So far, this drive is going just as the doctor would order, but they've got to cash it in and get in the end zone here.
And so Trey Morris, the receiver on the near side. Everybody else is going to be in tight out of that base flexbone formation as Konchesky gets ready to take the snap. He's got it, is going to hand it. No, he's got the ball in his hands. Fake the handoff, rolling to his right. He's got company. He's going to have to tuck it and run. He's inside the 10 and stays in bounds and is knocked out of bounds at about the 5 or 6 yard line. Wow.
So Konchesky goes play action there. They were looking for the shot play. They were going to throw that one to the end zone. Fakes the toss, drops back. It's not there. The pursuit from the Tigers is all over him. He rolls out. He's still looking downfield. Then he decides to run. And he's greeted at about the 5 yard line.
Well, they got it to about the 3, it looks like.
Yeah,
wow.
yeah. He fell forward. But he was inbound, so the clock is rolling.
All right, so Konchesky runs his team back to the line of scrimmage. He is under center, ready to take the snap. Nate's got it, turns, is going to hand it off. He goes to Mazo, who is in the end zone from 4 yards out, and the Darlington Tigers have scored another touchdown. Wow.
Yes, they have. A half off the clock. They didn't have to use a timeout. Technically, they could kick this off and try to play defense, but with the way Temple's offense is playing, I say you take the chance, go for the onside. Now, another thing to think about, though, you don't have Ade.
Here's Lovelace with the extra point attempt. and that was going to be through. So he knocks that one through the uprights, and the score moves to 44-41 in favor of Temple. So it's a field goal ball game right now.
And that brings us to a point we've talked about throughout this game. They're down 2 kickers. Down 2 kickers. You don't have Desalou. You do not have Sele out there. And it has been placed on the right foot of Georgie Lovelace, and he has really come through, hitting 5 of 6 of his extra points. He had a field goal blocked at the end of regulation. It is a field goal game. If Darlington can get the ball back, a touchdown would win it, a field goal would tie it, but they've got to either attempt the onside kick here or kick it off and get a stop. I believe we will see them line up, attempt the onside kick, and if they don't get it, they'll still have the opportunity to get the ball back. But we're about to find out based on how they line up.
And so the ball now teed up for the Tigers to either, as you say, attempt the onside kick or kick it off to the Temple Tigers. We'll see what they elect to do here as we get ready for Lovelace to work his way to the ball here in just a couple of moments.
Yep. Right now, Temple has their hands team. It looks like Evan Harrison is back deep. Here we go.
Yep. And here comes the kick. It is going to be end over end. A short kick drops in at about the 30, will be fielded by Temple. They'll fall on it at the 30-yard line.
Okay, and there's plenty of time here with 2 timeouts, but you're going to have to get a 3-and-out is what you need. You could technically give up a first down and possibly still stop the clock enough to give your offense a chance. But a 3-and-out, and Darlington will actually get the ball back with plenty of time to execute their offense as they normally would, not have to go into a pass-only situation.
And so Temple's drive will start at the 30-yard line with 4-41. Obviously, we've seen a lot of points tonight. It's been a super exciting ball game from start to where we are now. It's going to have a really interesting finish. It could. So Temple on the ball now at the line of scrimmage, 1st and 10 from their 30. Quarterback is going to be under center. That is Preston Griffin, their backup quarterback. They're going to hand it off. They go back to Nix, and he scoots his way off to the left side, shakes off a couple of guys, carries a couple of more, and he is going to be still pushing down the line of scrimmage, and he's across the 50. I don't know how that happened. Just a lot of muscle.
One-man wrecking crew.
Yeah.
Right there. There is a flag, and I'm not sure what we're going to get here, but wait to see the signal. It is a hold against Temple. Now that is going to be a spot foul, and where it was thrown was already well past the first down. So it'll depend on the spot. They'll march that off, and we'll see. All right, the official is adjusting. And I'm hoping it occurred close. Okay. It's going to be 2nd and 1 after it's all said and done.
Ball's at the 39-yard line, as you mentioned, 2nd and 1 here for Temple.
And I don't know if they're going to start the clock as they set the ball. So Temple can run another 20 seconds off here before they have to snap it. And you don't use your timeout here. They're too close to picking up this first time. You got to save it for this next set of downs unless you can throw them for a loss here.
Temple back at the line of scrimmage. I formation. There's the snap. Going to give it right back to Nix, and he is through and gets the first down.
Yeah, man, if I'm Coach Nix, that's where the ball's going the rest of the game. This guy
grind it out.
Yep.
And they've got the ball at the 45-yard line with 3:25 left to go.
And Coach Groves will let it run. He's going to hold those timeouts until they get to at least 2nd down here. But they've got to get them behind the chains somehow.
And so Temple runs back to the line of scrimmage with a fresh set of downs. Definitely in the driver's seat right now. There's the snap, going to hand it off. They go back to Nix. This time he stays up. He's got another first down. Dives at the end of the play, and after pile driving through the line of scrimmage, and gets him another one.
And the only risk here is that, maybe Darlington can force a fumble or we get a bad exchange. But they're just going to hand the ball to big number 15 and let him rumble. My goodness.
That was a chunk of yards there on that play.
It was.
Down to the 44-yard line.
And again, Coach Groves and his staff are playing this right. They're holding those timeouts. There's still enough time on the clock if they can get the ball back to have a chance.
Wide receiver on the far side. Snap is taken. He turns, is going to hand it off. Go to Finch that time. It's blown up in the backfield. Loss of about 3.
Now you call the timeout. Yep.
Who was it responsible for that tackle?
That was Ty Wood. Yes, sir. And a big tackle. I mean, that's huge.
Tackle for loss. They lost about 4 yards on that play.
Yeah.
We're going to keep it here through the timeout. 2:22 left to go here in the game. Temple leads at 44-41, and they have the football. And as you mentioned, big tackle for loss there by Ty Wood sets them up in a second down and 14.
Yeah, great winning time football coaching here from the Darlington Tigers. I mean, Temple's managing this well, too, but Coach Groves and his staff, they held on to those timeouts. They called that one at the right time. You got to go all in on this series of downs to try to get your stop, or there's just not going to be enough time left in the game to mount a drive to win this thing. But a huge play there. Ty Wood flying in, making the tackle. You put them behind the chains. Got to force them into a 3rd and long. You don't think that, I don't think they'll risk a pass. I think they're going to try to run the rock here. But you've got to keep them in 3rd and long so you can force the.
All right, Temple on the ball at the line of scrimmage. 2nd down and 14 for them. Griffin under center, takes the snap. He turns, fakes the handoff, is going to run it out to the left side. He stays up, and they get about 7 yards on the play.
That'll set up a 3rd and 9, and Darlington right here.
And we're going to keep it here right through this timeout. We got any other score updates, man?
I haven't looked. I've been so consumed by this game. Let me take a peek.
Those out.
Yeah, absolutely. Rockmart blew out Murray County, even though it doesn't say that. Hurd over Model 54-28. Gordon Lee 38-0 over CUSA. Cartersville 50, Hiram 7. Chattooga beat Dade last night 28-21. Calhoun beats Heritage 35-0. That seals up the region for them. Rome on the road also seals the region with a 38-7 victory over New Manchester. Gilmer beats Adairsville 28-21, and that's all I've got for you right now.
Thank you, sir. Well, now Temple back on the ball at the line of scrimmage here. Big 3rd down and 9. The fans are on their feet, creating a lot of noise and havoc. There's the snap. They give it to Nix. He stays up and scoots through and gets the 1st down.
Yep,
Thought they were going to get him there for a second.
I did too, but Hudson Nix has everybody ought to buy that guy a meal.
Yeah, putting the team on his back, trying to carry him across the finish line here with a victory tonight.
I think they can just pretty much line up in victory formation. They may need to get another 1st down to absolutely secure that. With the 25-second clock, they will. But
right now, Nix is fired up over there on the sidelines.
I'm not sure what.
I don't know.
I didn't see whatever he's upset about.
Well, he has definitely let it be known for sure. That may not be Nix. I think that's one of the other coaches. Is it Nix?
I'm not sure.
A little too far for these old eyes.
Whoever it was, they didn't like something.
No.
And they were letting it be known.
Yep. So they take a timeout, and we're just going to keep it right here through this timeout. We do want to let you know we've got some of course, college football for you tomorrow as Georgia Tech tries to remain perfect against Syracuse. Right now, Georgia Tech 7-0 for the first time since 1966. That's the year the Atlanta Braves came to Atlanta. I mean, you know. So
yeah, that's wild. That is wild. And
it was 12 years before I was born.
Well, they've got a big game tomorrow, and they better watch themselves because Syracuse has been a team. They've gone out and they beat Clemson a couple of times in the last 5 years. Last year they knocked off Miami. They have been a great spoiler team. And the Jackets will be – it's a sleepy noon game too. That's always – you got to watch those top 10 teams going into a sleepy home noon game. So hopefully Tech will be ready and can continue the win streak.
All right, so Temple will line back up. 1st and 10. There's the snap. They're going to give it right back to Nix. And he is going to be brought down after a short gain of about 2 or 3 yards this time.
Somebody's upset.
Yep. Got about a yard on that play.
Well, I keep hoping to see that ball squirt loose on one of these carries.
2nd down and 9, clock ticking, 103, 102. Now we're officially at the 1 minute mark of the football game, and they will take a knee.
Yep.
Yep.
And they will have to snap it one more time, and that'll be the ball game. And that's how it's going to end here at Chris Hunter Stadium, a 44-41 victory for the Temple Tigers. But, man, what a ball game. I mean, it was a great ball game. Not the outcome that everybody in purple and white wanted, but an absolute shootout here tonight for the homecoming crowd. But Temple is going to walk away victorious.
And, you know, Ian, that snaps a 4-game losing streak for the Temple Tigers and gives them their first region win. So they move their season record to 5-4, 1-4 in region play. Meanwhile, the Darlington Tigers fall to 3-6, 1-4 in region play. And we'll wrap up the regular season coming up next week against a really good Bremen Blue Devils team right here at Chris Hunter Stadium. We hope to see you there. Well, we're going to take about a 2-minute timeout. We're going to take a break, come back, give you the Honeymoon Bakery icing on the cake player of the game, and get ready to turn it over to the guys for the Rome Orthopedic Center High School football scoreboard show. We're back in 2 minutes. See you.
CUSA Steel is a family-owned full-line steel service center located in Rome, Georgia. Since 1972, we've been working to make our customers more efficient by providing steel product supply and processing all in one place. We are proud to provide a large range of products, including hot rolled and cold finished steel, stainless steel, galvanized steel, aluminum, and alloys. Our capabilities enable us to assemble and process steel orders within days, shortening your lead time. CUSA Steel. Steel for your project.
At Rome Orthopedic Center, we salute students, freshmen and seniors, athletes and artists, first stringers and choral singers, band majors and game changers. We hope you never need orthopedic care, but if you do, choose the only practice in the Rome area solely dedicated to the orthopedic needs of the students and families in our community. Rome Orthopedic Center. To make an appointment, call 706-292-0040.
Shop for your next car, truck, or SUV at Riverside Auto Group. Check out riversideautogroup.com today to browse their selection or visit with them in person at Riverside Chevrolet GMC in Rome, Riverside Toyota in Rome, and the all-new Riverside GMC Cadillac in Cartersville. Locally owned and operated by the Welburn family since 1974. That's Riverside Auto Group. Visit riversideautogroup.com.
Take care.
Well, folks, you got to tip your cap to them. The Darlington Tigers threw everything they had at them tonight. Came up a little bit short in a really exciting game. 44-41 was your final score, losing by 3 points. It was a special night. Obviously, you had Tate Ratledge's number 50 jersey retired at the beginning of the evening, and then we were treated to a really entertaining ball game. It had a little bit of everything, not the result that they were looking for.
Just a back-and-forth game. Came down to Temple converting, points off of a turnover and Darlington not being able to do so. But the the Darlington Tigers, both teams fought to the bitter end. It was a great ball game, and tonight we have to award somebody some cupcakes. So it's a tough decision. You had a lot of players that contributed on both sides of the ball and in special teams. But it's going to go to somebody who had a little extra special night tonight, the Darlington Homecoming King. That's right, Miles Touchdown Twyman. He got 2 of them tonight, one on a 90-yard kickoff return, the other on a 10-yard TD run. He had close to 300 all-purpose yards. If you count that kickoff and all the receptions he had and his runs, I mean, he was well over 250, somewhere between 250 and 300 by my count. I'm sure we'll get the official stats when we talk to Coach Groves next week. So Miles Twyman, you got it, King. You're the man. Tonight. You get the cupcakes.
Congratulations, Miles. And, folks, that's going to put a wrap on our broadcast tonight. Again, your final score 44-41 in favor of the Temple Tigers. We'll hit the reset button. We'll be back here coming up next week as the Darlington Tigers wrap up the regular season against the Bremen Blue Devils right here at Chris Hunter Stadium. So we're lakeside next week to wrap up the regular season. Then there'll be a bye week, essentially, and then the first round of the playoffs will be on November the 14th. So still some more football to play, and we're looking forward to it and bringing you coverage on WLAQ and also the live stream. I do want to recognize the crew before we wrap up. We'll start with the video crew, press box cameras, Bennett Abernathy and Afton Taylor. Then remote cameras tonight was Kate Travis. You had graphics with Caleb Bice, who always keeps us great company here up in the booth. He's right next to us right now. Replay was Nathan Patterson. Director was Mike Garrett. And I'm Matt Davis alongside Ian Griffin, bringing you commentary courtesy of radio station WLAQ here in Rome. Lynn Butler's back at the studio. He's getting ready to bring you, along with his son, Austin, the Rome Orthopedic Center High School Football Scoreboard Show. So going to be getting some recaps, some other games around the area.
I'm going to start them off with this question, too. Austin, sure. New Manchester, I thought they were supposed to be a test for the Rome Wolves. Didn't work out that way, though. So tell me what happened there, buddy.
All right, well, let's turn it over to him first with the answer to that question. It is now time for the Rome Orthopedic Center High School Football Scoreboard Show. Hope you enjoyed the broadcast tonight, and so long, everybody. Hope you have a great weekend. Good night.